Gold. They will send you their free guide on investing in gold and silver and answer all of your questions. Protect your money before things get even worse out there. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-928-GOLD. Oxford is here to help you protect your savings and retirement. That's 833-928-GOLD.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know,
from the historical audio archive.
And with a national debt that continues to rise, almost everyone is going to be hit with some kind of tax increase, especially if you have a high net worth. If you don't want these looming tax increases to impact you and your children, now is the time to call my friend Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group. Now, just be one of the first 9 callers at 239-747-1163. Ask for their tax map. Now, that could help you reduce the effect of what might end up being the greatest tax hike in 30 years. Now, as a CFP professional, Alfie's Tax Map can help you lower your tax bracket, protect your money when taxes rise, and create tax-free income. Be one of the first 9 callers and get your tax map right now, 239-747-1163.
Investment advisory services offered through Townsend Advisory Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor in Florida.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
From early morning to late at night, the station that gets it right is 92.5 WFSX Estero.
I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden says the terrorists responsible for killing 13 American troops and dozens of Afghans in twin suicide bombings at the airport in Kabul, Afghanistan, will be hunted down.
A group called ISIS-K is believed to have carried out that attack. President Biden says he's ordering military chiefs to present a response to be carried out at a time of U.S. choosing.
I will defend our interests and our people with every measure at my command.
President Biden says the U.S. will complete the evacuation mission and will not be deterred by terror, adding he does not regret his decision to withdraw U.S. forces by the end of the month.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was time to end a 20-year war.
At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Supreme Court, for a second time, ends a Biden administration moratorium on evictions from buildings with federally backed financing.
In a 6-3 decision, the court ruled if a federally imposed eviction moratorium is to continue, Congress must specifically authorize it. Justices Breyer, Kagan, and Sotomayor dissented, the White House press secretary saying the Biden administration is, quote, disappointed, and that the president is calling on cities, states, landlords, and cabinet agencies to urgently act to prevent evictions.
Fox's Sean Langell. Texas House Republicans passed new voting restrictions, including a ban on drive-through voting and sending absentee ballots out unsolicited. The bill now goes to the state Senate. The U.S. Capitol police officer who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt during the January 6th riot at the Capitol has come forward. Michael Byrd tells NBC News he acted to save lives.
She was posing a threat to the United States House of Representatives.
Babbitt was part of a group trying to smash through barricaded doors to the House chamber. She was shot trying to climb through a door where the glass had been shattered. Officer Byrd, a 28-year Capitol Police veteran, says he could not see what was in her hands or backpack and that she refused to comply with commands to stay back. Ashley Babbitt was from California, a 35-year-old Air Force veteran. America's listening to Fox News.
Calling out political theft by the left. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through North Fort Myers. We're dealing with a crash along Bayshore Road at North Tamiami Trail. That's Business 41. Seeing some slight delays southbound along 41 and heading westbound at the intersection on Bayshore. Aside from that, crossing the bridges in and out of the Cape in North Fort Myers. Only taking a couple minutes in each direction. I-75, not too bad early on this morning. All of our overnight construction zones have cleared up, and we're not dealing with any lane closures out there on the interstate. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. Look out for a few areas of rain throughout this morning. Eventually, some thunderstorms becoming possible as we head into late morning and throughout the afternoon. A mix of clouds and some sun today. A bit breezy at times as winds continue out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Look for highs topping off near 91 degrees for this afternoon. As we head into your Friday night, things overall winding down as far as that thunderstorm chance goes. However, Saturday morning still could be featuring a few showers waking up in the morning, and then more storms developing as we head towards the afternoon thanks to some additional tropical moisture across the area. High clouds will be blanketing the sky for your Saturday, a high of 91 degrees, and we remain a bit breezy at times. Sunday, dry to start out, temperatures nearing 92 for the afternoon with more scattered thunderstorms later on in the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here, 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
True relief for back and neck pain. Back pain, neck pain, we hear so much about it every day, but most people never understand what causes it. Very often, it is more than just sore muscles. Many times, it is caused by disc and nerve compression in the spine. This is very often not addressed. The only way to get pressure off the discs in the spine is to decompress the discs. Here at Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, non-surgical spinal decompression is a specially designed, computerized table to provide gentle, precise pulling to draw pressure off the discs and release the nerves. This process draws blood back into the discs, allowing them to heal. Completely safe and comfortable for any age. No hanging upside down. Patients with stenosis, sciatica, bulging discs, neuropathy, scoliosis all find great, long-lasting relief with decompression. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, managing partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Replace your AC today, go on a cruise tomorrow. Island Air wants to send you to the island. Matt here from Island Air of Southwest Florida with some great news.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now, there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
This is how Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. You can go there right now to watch the program, and we appreciate you subscribing to the podcast, as many of you have been doing. You can just type in Drew Steele in your favorite podcast location or go to the website, and there's a link there, so you can do just that. You know, I go back and forth from sadness to anger, outrage. It is, well, I'd love to hear from you this morning, 239-479-5592, on a day where I'm not sure how you now move forward with everything that we know. The military confirming 13th U.S. service member has died following these pair of terror attacks in Kabul. That at least a dozen more American service members were seriously injured, including 11 U.S. Marines, 1 U.S. Navy hospital corpsman, several service members believed to be in critical condition. At least 60 Afghans dead, more than 120 wounded. Some of the video that was out on social media yesterday, you just couldn't watch. You just couldn't look. And so many questions now remain as the president waited how many hours after this to say anything to the American people in a speech that maybe you had a chance to listen to, and you can describe to me and your thoughts on the president's speech yesterday, and his mental acuity still questioned. Things that he said specifically, and we're going to go through some of it this morning. How right now, I want to know what's the plan to get everybody out of the country, which we still don't know. Platitudes mean absolutely nothing when there's clearly no plan to explain to us how every American is going to be out of the country in time, unharmed. How we have a situation right now where we have other countries. We have word out of the Daily Telegraph. Australia, an Afghan mother and her child were the last people. Australia evacuated from Kabul. What's the big deal here, Drew? Why are you telling us this story? Because the prime minister held the final plane for crucial extra minutes so that they could board. In other words, making sure that people get out safely. If they're going to bring people to safety, that they're going to ensure that they're making that happen. When you read the story and you see what Australia was willing to do to bring people to safety, you ask the questions of this administration. And let me just say this, because this is a very important part of what I wanted to talk about today, and the bottom line, and it's this. This White House is not indicative of the country. This White House is not indicative of the entire country. This White House, can I say that again? Do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm getting tired of hearing people talk about and bashing the United States and bashing the country when we know who needs to be bashed. That this is not everybody. This is not me. This is not you. We're not the ones that voted for this. We're not the ones that support this. We want resignations. We want people gone. We want impeachment. We want Republicans to step up and do something and say something. Well, they can't do anything, Drew. They don't have the committees. I don't care. You shouldn't care either. Where are you? All of you Mitt Romneys and everything else. Mitt Romney gives us a whole lot of platitudes. He's upset, certainly, about horrific terrorist attack outside Kabul airport. My heart breaks for the U.S. service members wounded in the explosion and the innocent Afghan lives lost. I'm inspired by the strength and compassion of our troops and pray for their safety. That is very nice. The platitudes there. We hear all about it and we get it. But where have you been? Like, in other words, today is a brand new day. For all the Republicans that were out there, the so-called Republicans that were telling us that we can get along with everybody across the aisle. We've got to cross the aisle, and we've got to hug, and we've got to get along, and we got to do what's best for the country. Do what's best for the country. Do you honestly think that there's a Democrat out there right now, or this White House, or in some cases, some of the generals that need to resign right now, today, this minute, that care about the best interest of the country as we've known it? Not as we know it now, but as we've known it. I'm talking about the past. I'm talking about before this administration comes into. I'm talking about a party that everybody has to call out. And I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about Republicans. Where are you right now? I want every single unified to step up and say enough is enough. Infrastructure deals? No way. We're not doing infrastructure. We're not doing anything that Joe Biden's name is on because we can't trust you. We see what you're doing here right now, the way you've talked about this country. Joe Biden yesterday praising the military. It's really hard to believe anyone on the Democrat side praising military and saying positive things about them when you've done everything in your power to shame them, to talk about them as white supremacists, as going for the woke, is more important than it is to keep the country safe and secure. Don't do that. And listen, I spent most of the day yesterday upset because we're talking about lives. American lives. You talk about men and women who are there in conditions that you can't understand, that you can't describe. And very few heroes can actually describe the experience of what it's like to be in theater. And I've heard from them multiple times. And you can't help but think to yourself, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could be that person. I don't know if I have the kind of strength and fortitude to step up and do that the way that you have. And I'm almost ashamed to say that, but that's the point, is that these are heroes who are there. And the suggestion in the past that you would go after first responders, those that run towards danger as opposed to running away from it, you would go after them and not have one single problem with it, where you would have generals and others in the military who all they want to talk about is the woke. All they want to talk about is that aspect of what's going on with the military. And then supposedly you have the credibility to step up to a microphone and talk about how you feel when it comes to the military. Forgive me if I don't trust you and believe you. I just don't. Sorry. George is in Naples, wanted to weigh in on what he heard from the president yesterday. And I'm going to play some of the audio and some of the things that were just, it made your jaw drop, beside the fact trying to keep up with the pace. I wish that there was some kind of 2 or 4 speed up. You know how YouTube, you can go on there and you can speed up people talking or whatever. If you're on a podcast, you can, because he just, anyway, sorry. Go ahead, George.
Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, sir.
I watched President Biden yesterday, and I'd like to make 2 points.
Yeah.
Number one, he is not cognitively there. We are at a crossroads with this guy, and watching him yesterday stumble and fumble and speak so slowly. He at one point he stopped talking for 20 seconds and was fumbling with his cue cards.
Yeah.
I've never seen a president act like that on TV. Even Reagan didn't act like that towards the end of his presidency. And this is alarming. This is we're in trouble. Number 2,
yep.
He had the audacity to stand there and chuckle and smile.
Yeah.
To some reporter making a crack that the most interesting person in the room. I thought that was extremely inappropriate and insensitive to what happened.
The whole Peter Ducey thing was an absolute setup. You know, I was talking to people last night after the fact, and there was a group of people that I was with that were riveted to the TV to hear all of this. And obviously the going after Donald Trump, pivoting right now to it's Trump started this whole thing and it's his fault. And that's going to be the narrative moving forward. Listen, I'm going to play audio that's going to prove the point that you're going to start hearing. Yesterday, the narrative started to switch and started to pivot, and you're going to see this. They're going to try to protect Joe Biden. I don't think they're going to do anything when it comes to getting him out of office, or Democrats have no interest except it's all political. It's all political, George. Every bit of this is political. They could care less about the lives, the people, the country. They care about the politics. It's disgusting and it's disgraceful, and people need to recognize it. And if there's some Democrats that are listening that want to argue the point, I'd love to hear from you. But the thing, George, is that the Peter Ducey thing was a setup. The minute I heard that, it was clear what they were going to do. They started off with the president trying to naturally go to his wheelhouse, which was to give an emotional plea, talking about what is the feelings that he has about the loss of life, bringing his son into it, who, by the way, didn't die in service, died of cancer. And listen, it's a horrible thing when your son dies and a relative, a son or daughter go before you. I'm not taking anything away from that, but to bring that into the equation was not fair and not relevant to what we were talking about in that moment. But and then the moment of silence, I'm trying to figure out the moment of, like, how does that work with Democrats? Do prayers, do you care about that in moments of silence and quoting Bible verses? Or is it only when it's convenient for you, but the rest of the time it's all about staying away from that kind of thing? Because I don't hear Democrats standing up for the Bible or God or okay, anyway. I digress. Forgive me. And if you think I'm wrong, I would love to hear from you, because I remember not too long ago, Democrat National Convention where they didn't even want to recognize God, if you remember, as part of the platform. So anyway, and then after that part of it, which didn't have to be scripted because, you're 50 years in politics, you've had moments where you've done that back and forth, the theater, then you get to the script. And isn't it interesting that after all the scripting and the scripting out of, George, going to the reporters and admitting to the fact that he had the list, right? Remember that portion of the speech, right?
He gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC.
Right. Okay. So you're instructed to call on people. So clearly now you can stop. All of you Democrats, all of you out there who are trying to say that's not the case, don't make it sound like it's not scripted. It is. We know now. Now we know for sure, once again, and we can confirm this, it's scripted. He's given a list. He's told to who to talk to, and he goes there. That's the other thing. Then at the end, here's the Peter Doocy issue, George. At the very end, the best thing that he can do is go to the one person in the room that everybody knows that they believe is at the network that hates him the most, that is the one that is the Trump backing network, the red state conservative, gun rack on the back of your pickup truck, all that kind of stuff, right? And to go to that one guy who is going to give the tough question. It doesn't even matter what the question is. To make it look as if it was an attack on somebody who's clearly cares about the country, is heartbroken over what has happened, talked about his own son, moment of silence, everything is solemn. Notice nobody was screaming questions. Everybody was quiet. And do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, the theater. And then at the very end, the theater ends with a guy who they can look at and say, look at the Peter Doocy Fox News bully. Look at the bullies. See the bully and what he did? And so what does Joe Biden do? He puts his head down, right? When Peter Doocy follows up on the question. Do you see the theater? It's so obvious. He played this like a fiddle. You say that he's incompetent, incoherent, and I get all of that. But man, when you talk about the theater, he still had enough in his gut and in his brain to go after the theatrics. And that's what I felt like it was. It was a total setup. It was all part of the plan. It wasn't like he was going to ignore Peter Doocy. He went for that as near the end of everything as the kind of the cherry on top, to be the one person that they can look at and say, see, there's the red state people, there's the Trump supporting people, there's the conservative Republican people, that's Peter Doocy representing, and look what he did in this moment of everybody being so solemn and trying to be respectful of the president. It was a setup. Perfect theater. Anyway, you still there, George?
I'm still here. I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I got the feeling that they were purposely not trying to rattle him. It just,
of course not.
Totally different feeling.
Of course not, because they're going to try to give him enough space to get out of this. And thanks for the call, George. I appreciate it. 239-479-5592. Let's stop pretending like the media is going to try to be tough and strong against this president because they want him out of office as much as you do. They're going to do everything they can now to protect him. And I've got the evidence. 239-479-5592. You didn't think he was going to take questions? He had to take questions. There was no way he was going to be able to walk away from that podium. There's no way. All right. Your thoughts coming up. Let's take a break, Jake. When we come back, we'll have that. DrewSteele.com, streaming live. Certainly subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate it. Get your thoughts on everything and more audio coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Island Air. High-quality AC repair and installation. Online at islandairfl.com. Online at islandairefl.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street closing in negative territory Thursday. The Dow off by 192 points, the S&P off by 26. The NASDAQ was down by nearly 100. Some retailers are handing employees extra cash.
Athletic apparel company Lululemon Athletica will be handing out pay increases for the majority of its employees, and designer brands whose portfolio includes DSW and Shoe Warehouse will invest $1.3 million in new frontline worker bonuses. More than 7,300 workers in the U.S. and Canada will receive $200 each on September the 3rd. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
And apparently, some of us are spending money again. A new survey from Clutch says nearly half of people between 18 and 34 years old say their spending has increased in 2021. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
At Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design, they know selection and quality are essential when it comes to buying cabinets for your home. That's why they're proud to represent some of the finest luxury lines of cabinetry that offer a variety of selections to fit any lifestyle. Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design is the exclusive dealer for Padini, a globally recognized leader for handcrafted, modern, high-gloss Italian cabinetry. For those who appreciate the legacy of hardwoods and standard features like dovetail construction and soft close drawers, their Amish, Canadian, and North American lines offer that and more. Encore's exceptional reputation for beautiful 3D design, functional style, and service make them the perfect partner for you, your builder, interior designer, and architect. Call Encore at 239-331-5287 to schedule a design consultation at their expanded Naples showroom, or visit EncoreCabinetDesign.com for inspiration for your residential cabinetry, new home construction, or remodeling project.
Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit LDTlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano. LDTlaw.com.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0 down and 0% APR financing on all new Harley Davidsons. Rockstar Harley has hundreds of Harleys on site for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to get you approved. 0 down and 0% APR on all new Harleys at Rockstar Harley. On credit and Sunday.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that we have had an increasing number of phone calls from homeowners. Apparently, a number of the insurance companies have changed their underwriting standards regarding tile roofs. We believe that because of the recent hurricanes and the billions of dollars they paid out in claims, the insurance companies are instituting much stricter guidelines. We have had several thousand calls since Hurricane Irma whereby homeowners were denied what seemed to be legitimate claims. Invariably, these denials were based upon what the insurance company called so-called normal wear and tear on issues pointing to slipped or cracked tiles, separation in the ridge caps, or deterioration at the base of the air vents or bathroom stacks that were not previously corrected, and invariably because these issues were not visible from the ground. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, please call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to help you and your tile roof. Call Papa at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Homeowners, you hear the news every day. Rates go up and rates go down. While the economy struggles to recover, rising inflation rears its ugly head. Stop banging your head against a wall. Mortgage rates are again at all-time lows. That's right, rates are at all-time lows. Put a bit of cash back in your pocket with a refi from True Mortgage. Get a 15-year fixed at just 1.75%, 2.140% APR. Even better, True Mortgage will cover your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Qualification is fast and simple. Keep more of your hard-earned money and boost your savings. Lock in a lifetime of true value today with the lowest rates ever offered at 800-430-3334. That's 800-430-3334. 800-430-3334. Or visit TrueNow.com. Sign on the line, Inc. DBA True Mortgage is located at 100 Spectrum Center Drive, Suite 520, Irvine, California 92618. Equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. Based on a loan amount of $400,000. Monthly principal and interest payments. Primary residence only with a 50% loan to value. Not all applicants will qualify. NMLS number MLD1713.
Liberals suck. That's why we have Clay and Buck. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Today, noon to 3 on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
No patriotism at all, no love of country at all. This is all politics, Tucker.
That's why I'm as full of hate and rage right now as I have been probably since 9/11. I know for a fact either mothers or wives or somebody like that, they're getting a phone call tonight or will be getting a phone call shortly, and they're going to find out husband's never coming home again, daddy's never coming home again, my son's never coming home again, and I know for a fact the scumbags in the White House who run this country, they're sitting around a table as we speak, and they're not worried about mommy, they're not worried about daddy, they're not worried about that kid, they haven't shed a single tear for anybody, they're worried about poll numbers, Tucker, they're worried what polls well, how are we doing with middle-aged women, how do you think we did with black people tonight? How do you think we did? These people disgust me. They disgust me as much as the Taliban disgust me. I'm so grossed out by the people who lead this country. Our warriors deserve so much better.
That's former Marine Jesse Kelly, who was on with Tucker last night, absolutely torching the administration's handling of what's happening in Afghanistan. And coming up, more audio of the president's speech from yesterday. Did you hear it? Your thoughts? Love to hear from you this morning, 239-479-5592. Yeah, there's certainly a lot to get into, and resignations, talk of impeachment. Are we going to get enough of that coming up after yesterday? We better.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
It's Kaylee Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I've been telling you how to pick the best air conditioning company for years now, but here's a little reminder. At Kobe Cooling, we have a 100% NATE certified mechanic team. There are no other companies in Southwest Florida that even come close. We give you a better trained and certified mechanic, like my dad or my Uncle Mike. So, when you need service, there's only one real choice. Kobe Cooling at 239-482-1542. Again, at 239-482-1542. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense, no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
$6,000. To most of us, that's a lot of money, especially if we got it all at once. What would you do with an extra $6,000? During the 6K Your Way trade-in event, you get to decide. Thursday through Sunday at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Bring in any trade, regardless of year, make, or model, no matter where you originally bought it. Get an extra $6,000 overbook value for it. Yes, that's $6,000 more than it's worth. Best part is, it's your money. Use it as a down payment on a newer, nicer vehicle. Lower your monthly payments, or keep the extra cash. It's 6K your way. Why wait? Bring your trade today. Get an extra $6,000 overbook value for it today. What'll you do with an extra $6,000? Find out only through Sunday at Florida's #1 Nissan dealer, Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Did you know people drive from all over Florida to save money on diamonds?
Hi, I'm Stuart Duncan from Duncan's Diamonds, and we have thousands of diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, half carat to 10 carats. Because we are direct diamond importers, we own one of the largest selections of amazing diamonds here in the United States.
And offer prices 30 to 50% lower than other jewelers, where overhead cost is very high. Duncan's Diamonds hand-picks diamonds from diamond cutters all over the world to ensure you get the best.
We want you to find that diamond that you really love today and save.
And at Duncan's Diamonds, we have spectacular financing and layaway plans, including no or low interest.
A $2,000 engagement ring is only $66 a month. A $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $84 a month. Best prices guaranteed, low monthly payments, a spectacular gift from Duncan's Diamonds. We want you to find the diamond you love today and save.
Naples at Mercado, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Fort Myers on US 41.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out through North Fort Myers, dealing with a couple of crashes, both on Bayshore Road. There's one at Bayshore and First Street, which is just west of I-75. And another crash at Bayshore and North Tamiami Trail. That's Business 41 in North Fort Myers. So watch out for some delays along that stretch right now, just north of the Edison Bridge. We also have a crash at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway, right near the 7-Eleven station, with some fuel spilled on the road because of that crash. So watch out for activity as they're working on getting that cleaned up. I-75 looking good across the area. No problems out on the bridges. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. Look out for a few areas of rain throughout this morning. Eventually, some thunderstorms becoming possible as we head into late morning and throughout the afternoon. A mix of clouds and some sun today. A bit breezy at times as winds continue out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Look for highs topping off near 91 degrees for this afternoon. As we head into your Friday night, things overall winding down as far as that thunderstorm chance goes. However, Saturday morning still could be featuring a few showers waking up in the morning and then more storms developing as we head towards the afternoon thanks to some additional tropical moisture across the area. High clouds will be blanketing the sky for your Saturday, a high of 91 degrees, and we remain a bit breezy at times. Sunday, dry to start out. Temperatures nearing 92 for the afternoon with more scattered thunderstorms later on in the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, "What is that beautiful SUV?" I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, "How much does it cost?" I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines in rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. We have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com. I love my GV80 and you'll love it too.
All offers with approved credit on select models. Based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months at $0 per month for 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Island Air wants to send you to the islands.
Island Air is going to send you to the islands. Island Air wants to send you to the islands.
Island Air wants to send you to the islands.
Island Air is going to send you to the islands.
Island Air wants to send you to the islands.
Island Air is going to send you to the islands. You want to go to the islands? Call Island Air. Island Air wants to send you to the island.
Island Air wants to send you to the islands.
Island Air is going to send you to the islands. Matt here from Island Air of Southwest Florida with some great news. Do you want to go on a cruise or luxury condo vacation? Well, now you can. Replace your AC today, go on a cruise tomorrow. Island Air wants to send you to the island. Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher for a limited time. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
The economy's up, unemployment is down, and home sales are on the rise again.
Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Dick.
And I'm Harry. And we're real estate agents.
Well, it looks like it's that time of year again, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry thinks they can sell real estate.
If you want a qualified and experienced team to sell your home, call the Morrison Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. That's 239-246-7859.
Presented by LeMace RV of Fort Myers. Now through Sunday, RV Show USA is inside the air-conditioned Lee Civic Center. Hundreds of new and used RVs have been gathered and priced to sell. Enjoy discounts on top names like Winnebago, Fleetwood, Integra, and more. Plus, a great selection of discounted used RVs to choose from. Free parking and admission. For more information, see rv.fun. RV Show USA inside the air-conditioned Lee Civic Center ends Sunday.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. Love to hear from you this morning. Your thoughts after Joe Biden's speech yesterday. Shows up 25 minutes late. Nothing says I really care about what's going on, and I really care about what has happened to our servicemen there on the ground to the innocent lives lost. Nothing says I truly care than being 25 minutes late for probably the most important moment in your presidency, maybe even in your life, maybe even in all the time, even the 175 years that you've been in Congress, the one moment in time where you needed to be on time and you couldn't pull that off. And you have to ask yourself why. And it's one of these situations where, again, you listen to some of what he said. Easy to listen to it and hear a couple of things. Number one, the spin is on. When you start hearing words like people who wanted to leave, people who want to leave, when you hear the idea of wanting to, some people don't even want to leave. They don't even want to leave the country. Really, is that the suggestion that there are some Americans that are there? And this is what they're saying, that there are some Americans that are making the choice. You know what? No, we're good. I'll stay. I think everything will be fine. Yeah, I think it's a new Taliban. It's a new day. Yeah, I know it's been death to America chants and attacking our men and women serving and the deaths of individuals over many, many decades. But you know what? They're new. It's a brand new day. And this suggestion that somehow, there's this difference. Well, it wasn't the Taliban. No. It was ISIS. That's who did this. It's ISIS. The suggestion that you can kind of make it seem as if the Taliban had nothing to do with there's some kind of like innocence here and there's some kind of structure here is an outrage. They're the ones that let them out of the jails. You would imagine that if you were worried about or concerned about, let's say, individuals who were in jails, that maybe they don't like you, that if you really cared about the rule of law, that you would leave them there. But you didn't. They did not do it. So there's questions there right out of the gate. Some of what was talked about yesterday as well was, let's just say, maybe there is some audio evidence to show that, I'm not really sure if we can trust you. Joe Biden at the beginning of the speech after talking about prayers and moments of silence. And, I thought Democrats don't do that kind of thing. And the, referencing the men there on the ground who perished, the suicide bombings there, and the at least 13 American soldiers who have died, 90 Afghans on the ground, many women and children, and more. We're starting to learn about that. And so the president, just a portion of something that he said here. Listen. All right, let's get to this here. Here you go.
As I've been in constant contact with our senior military leaders, and I mean constant, round the clock.
Round the clock, constant contact. Is that true? Has he been in constant contact around the clock? Because a couple of things happen. Number one, you're 25 minutes late to the most important speech of your lifetime. Is that because you were being held up by the generals, the military? I mean, in constant contact with them? Is that what it is? Because there are some people that might suggest otherwise. I don't know. Jen Psaki was asked about that the same day.
Pink shirt, yeah.
Has Joe Biden spoken with any foreign leader after the attacks in Kabul?
Today, I will have to check on that for you. That's a great question. I'm not sure he has today.
Yeah, not sure he has today. Not sure if he's talking to any leaders on the ground. Not sure he's been in contact with anybody. But no, we can trust his words. That's okay. So what else did he say?
And our commanders on the ground throughout the day.
Yeah.
They made it clear that we can and we must complete this mission, and we will.
Anybody getting to the point right now of answers as to what the mission is? I mean, have we defined this mission? Has he defined? What's the mission? The mission is running, getting out. You leave people behind, they wanted to stay behind. The mission of surrender, is that what this is? And that's exactly what it is. That's the mission. All right, let it go.
And that's what I've ordered them to do. We will not be deterred by terrorists.
No, you're not going to. Okay, so you're not going to be deterred by terrorists. And in this mission of escaping as quickly as we can, hitting back, this idea of we'll hit back on our time when we feel like doing it at the right time and place, it doesn't sit well with people. Because I'm pretty confident that a former president wouldn't have let it get even this far, let alone what we would be hearing about and doing. The same president who early on in his presidency, dropped the mother of all bombs. Do you remember that? The Moab that was dropped to send a signal? Does everybody remember that? No, you don't remember that because, Trump.
We will not let them stop our mission. We will continue the evacuation. I've also ordered my commanders to develop operational plans to strike ISIS-K assets, leadership, and facilities. We will respond with force and precision at our time, at the place we choose, in a moment of our choosing.
Yeah, we're not really sure when we're going to do that, and we'll get to it, because we've got partners here in the Taliban, and we don't want to upset anybody or hit the wrong people because, they might get upset about that and do something like, I don't know what that would possibly be. That could be any worse than where we are right now. But to form a strategy, and again, these words are just striking to me.
I've also ordered my commanders to develop operational plans to strike ISIS-K assets, leadership, and facilities.
Hey, did you guys have any plans on this before? I mean, you've known for weeks now, months? How long have you known? We've all known that we had the jails opened and released out into the, it's really tough to find out what you're going to do about these individuals when you have no assets on the ground and no intelligence to find out who and where they are. That's another part of this. You think that they would have thought this out a little better, to be a little less reactionary. The proactive as opposed to reactive part has kind of slipped the mind of a lot of these individuals in the White House and certainly in the military, you might say. And again, I don't know how many times people can say it and continue to say, and we'll get to the part where he, pivots to Trump because it's Trump's fault. And how many times we can say, and Mark Levin was talking about this last night numerous times, and I think it bears mentioning again. I mean, he is the great one. Has anybody even bothered to read, to look at what the deal was exactly between us and the Taliban at the time and the May 1st getting out and actually looked at how many pages were part of this deal and what kind of conditions were in the deal? Do you think that in 17 pages it was just Donald Trump with a crayon going, we're going to leave. You're good. We're going to leave. You're good. We're just going to leave. You're okay. You'll let us go and we'll go, right? Big smiley face. Seriously? There were conditions. There was no way that the former president was going to allow it to get this far. No way. And again, as we get to play more audio coming up this morning, some of the questions remain. Number one, what are Republicans going to do? Calls for impeachment. We're talking about getting out there, getting on the microphones, not being there for an infrastructure deal. We want absolutely zero to do with anything that has to do with this White House. We want nothing to do with this administration and what has to do with infrastructure deals and budget deals and anything else. No, we're not crossing over the aisle and shaking hands and getting along, because how do you get along with a feckless administration who's doing what they're doing right now? You don't. Are they going to stand up and say, well, you can't do anything because you don't have control of of Congress here. You don't have control, of the House. So what are you going to do? You can't set up committees. You can't push anything forward. But you got to start someplace. You got to let it be known to the American people. They need to hear from you and see the reasons why you're saying things like impeachment and to spell it out. And then certainly the other part of this is going to be who's resigning. There's plenty of reasons why you can point and look and hear from and see certain individuals in the military that need to go. And I'm going to give you the audio examples of what was said that kind of set up the situation that happened yesterday and could have been avoided. Yesterday, we talked to, before the president's speech, we had a chance to talk with Congressman Byron Donalds about, his thoughts about the presidency right now, what needs to be done with this president. He was the one that called for his resignation. And we talked about that yesterday and his thoughts on what needs to happen, and certainly his letter to the president and that he needs to resign. We talked about that.
Well, look, the president, like I said in my statement, has abdicated all responsibility to being commander-in-chief. He's weakened our military presence in that region. He's weakened our military presence, frankly, around the world because our enemies are now on the move. The Chinese are on the move. The Iranians have kicked up their enrichment protocol to get weapons-grade uranium. They've kicked that into high gear. The Russians are now looking at Ukraine in a whole new light, considering what happened in Afghanistan. The totalitarian Cubans, they don't fear this administration at all now. Even if they had a semblance of fear, all of that is gone. How is Joe Biden going to act on the world stage for whatever the next foreign policy crisis is? Because there's always one, because you're dealing with human beings, and some of them are the worst human beings on the face of the planet. What's he going to do? Our allies do not trust him at all. I don't care what the White House says. We're hearing how so many members of the G7 have been begging him to stay. He won't change his mind. He has no intel to state why he won't change his mind. All the intel states that you have to stay there. And by the way, for people who do not know or think that, that's wishful thinking, look at all the people we've moved out of Afghanistan. There are Americans who are going to be left behind. Period. Full stop.
Yep.
This president is not using military force to get Americans out of harm's way. He's not doing it. He is leaving them behind. If that's not an abdication of your responsibility as commander-in-chief, I don't know what is. And for people on the left who say, oh, but Donald Trump did this and Donald Trump did that, Donald Trump never left an American behind. Not once.
Yep, that is.
And I don't think that he would.
And you know it. You know it. I know it. They know it. It would never. It never would have gone this far. We talked. I talked about this on numerous occasions, and everybody knows it. And I had a conversation yesterday with a couple of retired special ops guys who had a lot of experience in Afghanistan, and they're saying the same thing. It's not going to happen. Never going to get these Americans out. It can't happen. The logistically, it's going to be impossible. And the nerve of and the gall of, and how horrific it is for Jen Psaki and others in the White House and the Secretary of State and others to try to spin this, to make it seem like this is some kind of Berlin airlift, that this is actually success, and some of the media going along with it, trying to spin the narrative, because if you don't hear about after the 31st deaths of Americans, then it didn't happen. This suggestion that once they're out, that if nobody reports it, then it doesn't exist, that you can try to change the narrative. And I'm sure you've probably heard about that, too, and the concerns of many on Capitol Hill.
We have a lot of members who served in that theater who are in the Republican conference, and frankly, that are in Congress. There's a lot of Democrats who served in that theater, too. I will tell you that in our classified briefing, it was bipartisan, the demand to stay past August 31st. And I'm talking about, you had some liberal Democrats saying it, rank and file Democrats. Obviously, the Republicans are saying it. They're all telling the Joint Chiefs and the Secretary of State, you have to implore the president to stay past August 31. Here's what's going to happen past August 31 if Joe Biden holds to the timeline, which it looks like he's going to do.
Yep.
You're going to have contractors. These are the guys who do stuff in other parts of the world that nobody wants to talk about, who are ex-military. These guys, a lot of them are already in the theater right now trying to exfil people, trying to get people out of that country in other ways than using the United States as a way to do it. There's already talk of people trying to basically find a way to escape and evade into Pakistan, to get out via Pakistan. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening on the ground. We're going to have a lot of our former men and women in uniform who still operate are going to be in that theater to get Afghanis out who basically kept them alive on the battlefield, and also to get Americans out who were trapped behind enemy lines. And all of this could have been avoided, Drew. We should have never gave up Bagram Airfield. Listen, Sheila Jackson-Lee basically told them we should have never given up Bagram.
Really?
Sheila Jackson-Lee is saying that.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, it is bipartisan. And this president is a paper tiger. He is soft. Yeah. Our enemies know it. Why do you think the Chinese are now doing military maneuvers over Taiwan? Yeah. Because they know he's weak and he's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's, the same person I talked to yesterday was talking about the fact that Bagram was basically impenetrable. I mean, you could have put a minimal, not only could you have put a minimal amount of people there to keep it because of how impenetrable it is, but how big it is, they could have brought in people there. All the people that they were trying to evac, they could have brought them to Bagram. They could have brought thousands of people there.
Bagram Airfield has 2 airports. Now, it's more remote, but it's hard for anybody to really get there.
Yeah.
So if you have the protocol set up and the plan set up, you can move people to Bagram and get people out of Bagram. You have 2 airfields. You can land many more jets. There's plenty of room to fuel. It's operationally more secure. You are correct. It's almost impenetrable because of the way the Russians built it. The other facility that we abandoned was our embassy in Kabul. Nobody's really talking about that.
Yeah.
We abandoned our embassy. We spent hundreds of millions of dollars building that embassy. That thing is a fortress by all accounts, can be defended with minimal force. So why would we give up our embassy in Kabul? Like, the Russians still have their embassy, the Chinese still have their embassy, but we gave up ours. And for what Joe Biden has said before, and notice he's not really talking about this anymore, this over-the-horizon capability, every military personnel is saying that is a joke because you don't have the intelligence gathering capability, because there's no place for our intelligence gathering capability to actually organize itself in a secure way to disseminate information. So we're going to be relying on satellites, and the nearest air base is 400 miles away. So by the time we actually get to where we're going, the target's probably already moved. This over-the-horizon stuff is a complete joke.
That was Congressman Byron Donalds yesterday morning. This was before the president's speech last night, and he did bring up Bagram Air Force Base. And when we come back, there's some interesting audio from June 23rd, the Joint Chiefs General Mark Milley, who said some words that have to be replayed over and over and over again. It again will call out who is responsible for a lot of what has been happening. The pointing of fingers and being able to confidently point and say, you need to resign. This audio, you've got to hear. It's coming up next. Stay break 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Hey, you confused about real estate? Sean Hannity here, and I can tell you as an active real estate investor, well, just like the stock market, it can go up one day and down the next. Home values and sales, they fluctuate on a dime. Now, even though I bought and sold homes for years all across this great country, one thing I will always do is partner with a sharp real estate agent that truly studies local and national market trends, that knows the real value of homes, and most importantly, knows how to generate demand regardless of the market. And the good news is you have a truly amazing agent right in your backyard. I'm talking about Denny Grimes with Keller Williams Naples. He has an amazing team working for him. He doesn't miss a single detail. Now his system is so bulletproof, well, he can create demand and sell your home at a deadline that you agree to, or he will buy it himself. Now, real estate doesn't have to be frustrating or scary. Call Denny Grimes today at 489-HOME. That's 489-HOME, or online it's 489home.com.
You finally reached your savings goal, but how much will you really spend in retirement? Basic question, but more than 1/3 of retirees underestimated their spending. And you know taxes will impact what you've set aside. You're smart enough to know you don't have all the answers. You're also smart enough to know where to get help. It's time to put things in order with a fee-only fiduciary. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com. One team, one plan, one fee. Annex Wealth Management.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. In studio with us is Dr. Michael Varveris. He is a concierge medical doctor. Now, doctor, in today's world, you have to wait sometimes months before you can get an appointment with your doctor. When you get there, it's at least an hour wait to even get in. You barely even speak with your doctor. How are you different?
And everything you mentioned, I'm different. What I'm trying to do is trying to provide the service that I'd want provided or I want a loved one provided. So a patient of mine will be able to see me today or tomorrow. The time spent will be what is needed. A patient might have to wait a little bit because I'm with another patient, but I'll do the same for them. You know, I keep my overhead low in my practice, and it allows me to create individual relationships, which obviously is what it's all about.
Go visit Dr. Varveris online. He's at mddocv.com. Again, that's mddocv.com. This is the doctor that gets to the root of the problem, your concierge medical doctor. Visit him online today, mddocv.com.
Breaking news from the White House. Joe Biden wants a simplified two-step tax form. Step 1, tell us how much you made last year. Step 2, send it in. That's just not right. But 92.5 Fox News is right all along.
Sales desk, Marty speaking.
All right, let's see here. Paying more for trades?
F.
F?
No high-pressure sales tactics. F minus. Yikes.
What is this?
Oh, hey, Marty, just looking over your report card here.
What is this and who?
From your customers. Doesn't look good, buddy.
Give me a break, pal, okay?
Well, during Victory Lane Chevrolet's back-to-school sales event, everyone gets an A+ in savings, trade-in values, and credit approval.
You know, grades don't mean anything, all right?
Judging by your empty showroom, I beg to differ. Marty, report to the principal's office for a meeting with your parents.
Get back to school savings at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Plus $500 cash back for school supplies. And teachers get an additional $1,000 off any vehicle in stock. And our goal, 100% credit approval.
Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com.
Offers on selected stock models with approved credit and cannot be combined. Dealer retains all rebates. Must present teacher ID for offer. See dealer for complete details. Expires 8/31/21.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, "What is that beautiful SUV?" I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, "How much does it cost?" I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive, but that's not all. We have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com. I love my GV80 and you'll love it too.
All offers with approved credit on select models. Based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months at $0 per month for 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
When there's nothing left that makes any sense. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right.
Hunt you down and make you pay. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden's message to the terrorists behind twin suicide bombings in Kabul, Afghanistan, killing 13 American troops.
We will respond with force and precision at our time, at the place we choose, in a moment of our choosing.
At least 99 Afghans are also reported to have been killed. Evacuation flights from Kabul have resumed despite the risk of more attacks.
Before President Biden spoke, U.S. Central Command General Kenneth McKenzie Jr. addressed the ongoing threat of ISIS-K in Afghanistan, saying that we are relying on the Taliban to help us.
We've told them you need to continue to push out the security perimeter. We've identified some roads that we would like for them to close. They've identified that they will be willing to close those roads because we assess the threat of a suicide-borne vehicle threat is high right now.
He explained that we and the Taliban have a mutual goal to get out by the 31st, and insofar as the U.S. military shares that goal, he said the Taliban is useful, saying he has no reason to believe the Taliban assisted in this attack. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
The Biden administration loses again in court over a temporary ban on evictions.
The Supreme Court ending a pandemic-related federal eviction moratorium, allowing evictions to resume. Despite the Biden administration's attempt to extend the temporary ban after the court essentially warned the White House against it just weeks ago.
Fox's Sean Langell. New voting laws like more empowered partisan poll watchers and a ban on drive-through voting are passed by Republicans in the Texas House of Representatives.
It's the bill that led Democrats to skip town and head to Washington, but a 38-day walkout only delayed the easy passage of the bill in the GOP-heavy Texas State House. Democrats said it suppresses the vote for minorities and people with disabilities. The bill goes back to the state Senate. Rob Dawson, Fox News.
A state of emergency is declared in Louisiana, with Tropical Storm Ida on track to hit the state's coast as a hurricane on Sunday. It's passing over Cuba later today. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through Fort Myers, we have a crash with roadblock in all lanes along 82 at the intersection of Michigan Link. So if you're heading out that direction, just to the west of Ortiz Avenue, not too far from downtown Fort Myers. State Road 82 is backed up and blocked off in both directions because of that crash. Avoid the area for the time being. You could take Colonial Boulevard or Palm Beach Boulevard as alternate routes, but definitely starting to see those backups building. Heading in the westbound direction off of I-75 in Ortiz, approaching Michigan Avenue Link. Also keeping an eye on a crash heading through Daniels Parkway and Metro Parkway with a little fuel spill out there, so you will see crews trying to clean that up. And a couple of crashes on Bayshore Road in North Fort Myers, one at Business 41 North Tamiami Trail, and one at First Street down near I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. Look out for a few areas of rain throughout this morning. Eventually, some thunderstorms becoming possible as we head into late morning and throughout the afternoon. A mix of clouds and some sun today, a bit breezy at times as winds continue out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Look for highs topping off near 91 degrees for this afternoon. As we head into your Friday night, things overall winding down as far as that thunderstorm chance goes. However, Saturday morning still could be featuring a few showers waking up in the morning, and then more storms developing as we head towards the afternoon thanks to some additional tropical moisture across the area. High clouds will be blanketing the sky for your Saturday, a high of 91 degrees, and we remain a bit breezy at times. Sunday, dry to start out, temperatures nearing 92 for the afternoon with more scattered thunderstorms later on in the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Leftists make you fret? Check out rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Conditioned Air is looking for the best of the best in HVAC to join our winning team. If you consider yourself an A player and love customer service, you should apply so we can get your career path started. We have several top-paying positions available now in Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Naples. Find out more about our new hire bonus and apply online at conditionedair.com. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. License number CAC 1819590.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. Next Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table. We do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
We're always looking the future straight in the eye. At FPL, we're planning, preparing, and investing in clean energy. Because Florida deserves an energy future we can depend on. See how at fpl.com/value.
Stop. Don't purchase any diamonds, jewelry, or engagement rings until you come to Duncan's Diamonds. We are not your typical jewelry store. Here are a few reasons. Family owned. Stuart Duncan and his family have been involved in the wholesale diamond business for nearly a century. No middleman. We are direct diamond importers, offering prices 30 to 40% lower than the rest, passing all those savings to you. No pressure. We are not paid on commission. We are here to help you even if you do not purchase from us and to make sure you are happy. The largest selection of diamonds and jewelry, access to millions of jewelry styles, and that is up to 30 times what you find in an ordinary jewelry store. Free services, like clean and check whether you purchased from us or not. Don't take our word from a radio ad. Visit Duncan's Diamonds. We will prove we will not be undersold anywhere, anytime, by anybody. Duncan's Diamonds.
US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
from 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching the program and subscribing to the podcast. Just going to DrewSteele.com. There's a link there you can click on to subscribe, or just type Drew Steele into your favorite podcast location. Listen, this is a pivot moment. This is a nation's pivot moment right now. What happened yesterday and the explosions outside Kabul airport, and what has happened and transpired up to this point, and what we know in the 13 U.S. servicemen who have perished, and many others who were killed, and Afghans as well, many women and children. This is a pivot point because now there's a lot of things, even after the Biden speech yesterday, 25 minutes late, because, you know, he cares. You know, nothing says I care about the country. Nothing says I care intensely, immensely about men and women who are serving this country, and certainly the American people, like being 25 minutes late to the most important speech of your lifetime. But nothing to see here. Everything is fine, moving along. Speaking of, by the way, everything is fine, moving along. Don't forget also that Nancy Pelosi, in her ultimate wisdom, also cares deeply about this country. And we're going to get to that as well, because on the heels of all of this and knowing full well what was happening, transpiring and the like, was Nancy Pelosi present? Did Nancy Pelosi have anything to say about this? Nope. As a matter of fact, she was yucking it up with a whole bunch of folks in San Francisco, and you're going to hear the audio for yourself. It's outrageous. It's disgusting. It's politics. This is what they do. And listen, if you're somebody who listened to Biden's speech yesterday, I'd love to hear from you and get your thoughts. 239-479-5592. I had a lot of people gathered around the TV yesterday to watch it, and we were just appalled, aghast, can't believe what he's saying. We're going to get to some of the audio in case you missed it. And if you're a Democrat, can you please help us to identify the positive in the Biden administration? Joe Biden is president of the United States. Can you give me one positive? Can you give me anything? I mean, we don't even get eviction moratoriums that hold up in court. Oh, by the way, that's out there as well. The Supreme Court has made another big decision, which you knew was coming. The eviction moratorium says, no, you can't do that. So the Supreme Court is saying that it's that the eviction moratorium was illegal. You can't do it. They knew this weeks ago, brought it back up because, of course, you know, the Biden administration and Joe Biden himself thumbed his nose at the Constitution, which is fine because there's nothing says I'm going to hold my oath to the Constitution of the United States, so help me God. You know, if you believe in that thing, and the book that you put your hand on, that, you know, sometimes you believe in it or not. It's a relative thing. But anyway, that you swear an oath to the Constitution, and then you say, to heck with the Constitution. I'm going to do something that's unconstitutional anyway. Yeah, something stinks. But in the end, 25 days later, a 6-3 ruling, the CDC, that order was blocked. You don't get to do it. Even John Roberts joined in the majority and says, no, you can't do this. And again, what's the spin here? What's ultimately the spin? Because it's politics, everybody. What's the spin? The spin is that Democrats knew all along that they weren't going to get this. And now they do it because they care about the people. They care about those individuals who just, you know, they're going to be kicked out. They're not going to be able to pay their rent. Really? Well, you can go get a job to pay the rent, right? That's what you used to do. Remember pre-2020? Remember pre-pandemic when everybody had jobs and you would go out and work to be able to pay your rent and all that kind of stuff? Well, now you're competing against the federal government for money and jobs and everything else. I mean, maybe I don't want to. I like sitting home and everything. None of that money is available for you to pay rent. Oh, I can't do it. You can. But knowing all of this, all they wanted was the Supreme Court to rule on this, so now they can spin it and say, it's Trump, it's Republicans, it's red states, it's the Supreme Court. They've already spun this. 11 million people are now facing eviction in the middle of a pandemic because of this unilateral decision by the 6 GOP-appointed SCOTUS justices. This is our reality for a generation unless we expand the Supreme Court. This is what they're talking about, taking back the court. Take back the court is the Twitter account, which they've wanted to do, blaming the 6 Republicans, Robert Reich doing it as well. They're already getting ready to spin. So be prepared, because this spin is coming from this administration and the White House as well, moving forward with what has happened, transpired before our very eyes outside of the airport in Kabul in Afghanistan. It's a good thing Joe Biden was knocking on wood.
It took 2 days to take control of the airport. We have control of the airport now.
Still a lot of pandemonium outside the airport.
Well, there is, but look, but no one's being killed right now. God forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but no one's being killed right now.
Yeah, well, I don't know if are you forgiven? I don't know. But there's the knock on wood. Boy, it's a good thing you knocked on wood, because, that's where you got to go. It's not decisions, not military decisions, not your decisions, not anything else. It's boy, when you knock on that wood, man, I'll tell you what, there's nothing stronger to help you than knocking on wood. What? Yeah, not so much. All right, we're going to go to some calls and play some audio as well. The president's speech from yesterday. We'll start with RC in Cape Coral.
Hey,
RC,
Drew, how you doing?
I got to tell you, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm frustrated. My heart aches for the families of the service members killed, and my heart aches for what is to come. Not only in this country, but the safety and security of our heroes that are out there, those that stand in front and fight for our freedoms and do the things that we wouldn't do, that go towards danger as opposed to running away from it. So, forgive me if I'm a little
No. I think we all feel the same way. I was in New York City on 9/11, and I have almost the exact same kind of feelings today. It's weird. And so I watched the speech yesterday. I didn't really listen because I knew it was going to be the same platitudes that he's been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks. But just the optics of the way he shuffles out, the way he puts his head down. During the moment of silence, I was afraid that he wasn't going to come back out of it.
Yeah.
It's just the way that we're being portrayed to the world. There's no sign of strength. There's no sign of competence. When you think back to the way Reagan would come out, for moments like this, and you knew that he meant it. The Bushes, even Clinton to some extent, when he would come out to make a speech during a time of tragedy, at least you knew that there was some competence involved. But this guy instills no confidence in me whatsoever.
Yeah, well, the problem, and one of the things I talked about earlier, was the theater. Right out of the gate. So people were looking and saying, oh, please don't let him read off a teleprompter how he's feeling, because that would be awful. And boy, was he prepped for that. So if you didn't see the whole thing, but you wanted to break it down into the theater that was yesterday, it's very simple. The beginning couple of minutes were not scripted, because he's done this as a politician a million times. So it was easy for him to do, caring about people who have perished, men and women serving, and then bringing his son into it, which is horrific that his son died, and nobody wants to have a child die before you. That is nothing I would ever take away from a human being, but to bring it, Bo, into the conversation when he died of cancer, he didn't die out on the battlefield, and yes, he served, but the point is, you see where that was going, and then the moment of silence, where, again, and Bible quotes, and you gotta, I guess I don't even want to go there with that, because, that coming from a party that doesn't even want to put God in the platform. So let's just excuse that.
I don't ever recall him quoting the Bible.
Yeah, well, it's when it's convenient. That's what you do. When it's convenient, it's a beautiful thing. And of course, you don't want to put your hand on it and swear to it, like to the Constitution, because that might work in a strange way. And then what happens, RC? Then the script. Then you notice he flipped from looking out into the audience, looking down, looking out. He was not on a teleprompter, to boom, let's go to the teleprompter. And then, after everything's said and done, the putting the head down moment, as you described, was with Peter Doocy, which was all theater. It was the perfect setup. I mentioned this to people yesterday, RC, and it was the perfect setup. When you have a president who clearly is sad and everybody is solemn, and people aren't screaming questions, well, because they're screened ahead of time and because he knows who to call them. But that's beside the point. But it's calm, it's solemn, and everybody is upset about the situation, and we've got to do something, and we're going to get those bad guys.
Yeah.
What better setup than to have the evil Fox News, Peter Doocy, Republican, red state, conservative, Trump-supporting, gun rack on the back of your pickup truck, Confederate flag flying guy to start talking about Well, I've got a question. Oh, here comes the tough guy, and look at what's happening now. I can't even talk, and in this solemn moment, I have to have the tough guy from Fox News come on and ruin the moment.
Exactly.
It's perfect theater. It's perfect theater.
And this guy is perfect because he's such a puppet that they just flip career politician mode, and send him out to just do what you've been doing for 50 years. And that's why he's the perfect puppet. And he just does what he's instructed to do, which was the scariest word I've ever heard a president say.
Yeah, well, I would pray that and wish, and thanks for the call, RC, that a perfect puppet would actually not put our men and women in danger the way they have, to the point where we had what happened yesterday happen. Just incredible. Neil in Cape Coral. Hey, Neil.
Hey, good morning. You know what? I tell you what. I think the thing that bothered me the most about his speech last night was, my father used to tell me, I don't blame people for their mistakes, but I expect them to fix them. And, he's already showed his complete level of incompetence in pulling us out. And then you're going to stand up there and you're going to tell me that, we're going to find out who did this and make sure that you think I have any level of confidence in what you say you're going to do based on the amount that you've already screwed up?
Yeah.
I mean,
no. You're right. And to your point, Neil, the first thing he should have done was Defense Secretary Austin, Milley, they need to go. People need to go. People need to be held accountable, and plenty of people were told to resign. Plenty of people have been fired by presidents. It's happened for hundreds of years in this country. It's happened before. Lincoln did it. Others have done it. So don't tell us that you couldn't step up to the plate right there and to get rid of the people that were responsible for this. But he won't. It's not going to happen. It's part of the spin. You're right about that. Right. Neil, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Dawn is in Fort Myers. Hey, Dawn.
Hey, I think the worst thing about that speech was when he tried to align himself with the military families that lost their loved ones over there. That just made me almost want to puke, first of all. And, the other thing, he is a puppet. But whoever is running this country behind him, that needs to come out. The Republicans need to start standing up to this. Nobody's doing a thing. People should be outraged. Where are the people?
Yeah, if it's interesting, because if there was a time, and some have said this to me, I had a couple of people say this to me yesterday, Dawn, and I'm just repeating what they said. So take it for what it's worth. You want to talk about people getting out on the streets. You want to talk about people boycotting. You want to talk about people doing things and getting out and having their voices heard, and not going to work, or not striking, or getting out and having their voices heard. I don't know of a time. Well, this is what the person was saying. I don't know of a time when it would be more important to do it. Like for people to get out on strike, for people to hit the streets, for people to not show up for their job and get out on the streets and protest this presidency, and get out there in front of Congress and get out there in front of the White House and say enough is enough. You need to go. The American people are speaking right now. This is, of all the times to protest, this is what you protest. And so that's what somebody said to me. And, and again, to your point, I don't know that it's going to happen that way. It's hard enough getting Republicans on Capitol Hill to come together and say, listen, we've got to impeach this president, because, well, we can't talk about impeachment, Don, because we don't have the power. See, in 2022, we'll have the power, but we don't have it right now. So we don't have committees. We can't call people up to Capitol. We can't do anything right now. That's not the answer. The answer is to show your face and to show the American people that you want this.
Absolutely. Dan Crenshaw, for instance, the go F yourself comment was just perfect. Where are form their own committees, do their own thing.
Right.
Look into Pelosi and her January 6th involvement in all this crap.
Yeah.
That old hag needs to go.
They don't do this, Dawn, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. To your point, it's an excellent point. Democrats would have Trump out of office yesterday. Democrats would be doing all kinds of things and making sure, by the way, that, oh no, this White House, This president, as feckless and dangerous as he is, and knowing what's going on behind the scenes and everything that has happened before the tragedy in Kabul yesterday, 13 service members perishing, and who knows what else is going to happen in the coming days. It's just awful to even think about it. You know and I know that Democrats would be saying, don't give me an infrastructure bill. Don't give me a budget that's coming from your White House. Don't give me all of these things because we're going to have no part of it. No part of it. Zero. We're not reaching across the aisle. We're going to stop you. That's what they did to Trump for 4 years. Where are they right now? They better be out today, this morning. Maybe they've been out. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, more audio coming up from yesterday's speech and more of your comments. You heard the president's speech, your thoughts coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
Jason and Todd believe in value. They're direct diamond importers and hand select each diamond directly from the cutters. By cutting out the middlemen, the Diamond District offers the best quality diamonds at the lowest prices, and they pass that savings on to you.
At the Diamond District.
Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital. And we're super excited to be growing roots right here in Southwest Florida and are looking forward to being a part of this community for years to come. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all our clients and partners through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
County Commissioner Kevin Ruane is fighting to protect our water quality. The Army Corps of Engineers has announced their new plan for the management of Lake Okeechobee, which will result in even more harmful discharges into the Caloosahatchee River. Kevin Ruane says no. Kevin is fighting against this plan, which protects the East Coast while harming our local waterways. He's leading the charge for modifications to balance flows to both coasts and to utilize the additional storage capacity in Lake Okeechobee now that $2 billion of repairs have been made to the Herbert Hoover Dike. Kevin Ruane knows that we should not bear the brunt of the effects from discharges while the East Coast gets none. He understands that if this plan is not modified, it will affect the quality of life, our real estate values, and our economy. We can't afford another water crisis. This is about more than just water quality. It's about our community, our children, our grandchildren, and our economy. We can count on County Commissioner Kevin Ruane to fight for us. Sponsored by Friends of Kevin Ruane, 1375 Jackson Street, number 202, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
Plantation Shutters for You is your best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Call today for a free consultation. Discount to military, first responders, and Biden voters who wish they voted for Trump now, as well as Trump voters. PlantationShuttersForYou.com.
Great news, Southwest Florida. Matt and Justin here with Island Air.
Over the past year and a half, we know that many people have sacrificed their vacations.
We know that replacing your air conditioning system is a stressful purchase. Usually it's something that you didn't plan on, very inconvenient, always seems to happen at the worst time, and we were trying to find a way to ease that burden.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call Island Air and get that outdated system replaced, and included with your purchase, you will get a vacation voucher of your choosing.
It's your choice with a qualified purchase of a cruise or condo resort voucher. You can choose 4,500 different resort options, 106 countries around the world.
A vacation can be yours with the purchase of a new air conditioning system. Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher for a limited time. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano. ldtlaw.com.
You've heard it before. We beat the competition. So many businesses say that now. But how many companies actually ask you to call the competition and then compare their windows to Window World windows? We will come into your home, or you can come to our showroom, and we'll give you an honest, fair, free estimate of what it would take to upgrade your windows to more energy-efficient windows. No tricks, no high pressure. We want you happy with your new windows, not feeling like you were forced into buying them.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. We offer you top quality windows at the best price available with the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business.
If something goes wrong with your new windows, we'll fix it, even if the neighborhood kids accidentally hit a baseball through it or anything else. Window World quality windows, great price. Even hurricane-rated impact windows are available to offer an increased level of security to your home. Call Window World today.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Really? Selling your home? Whether you need to move because of work, moving up, or downsizing, there's a ton of stuff to worry about when selling your home. Asking too much or too little? What about home inspections, paperwork, negotiating? There's only one thing to do. Call the listing realtors that know it all. The Morrison Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. They handled it all. That's 239-246-7859.
Sales desk, Marty speaking.
All right, let's see here. Paying more for trades? F.
F?
No high pressure sales tactics. F minus. Yikes.
What is this?
Oh, hey, Marty, just looking over your report card here.
What is this and who?
From your customers. Doesn't look good, buddy.
Give me a break, pal, okay?
Well, during Victory Lane Chevrolet's back to school sales event, everyone gets an A+ in savings, trade-in values, and credit approval.
And grades don't mean anything, all right?
Judging by your empty showroom, I beg to differ.
Marty, report to the principal's office for a meeting with your parents.
Get back to school savings at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Plus $500 cash back for school supplies. And teachers get an additional $1,000 off any vehicle in stock. And our goal, 100% credit approval.
Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com.
Offers on selected stock models with approved credit and cannot be combined. Dealer retains all rebates. Must present teacher ID for offer. See dealer for complete details. Expires 8/31/21.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Friday morning. We have delays still out on State Road 82 westbound from I-75 through Michigan Avenue Link because of an earlier crash, although that crash got cleared out of the way a few minutes ago. Should be just filtering through as that traffic continues to head farther west toward downtown Fort Myers. Looking good along I-75. No problems out on the interstate all across the area. In fact, this morning, all of our overnight construction has cleared. We're keeping an eye, though, on a crash also on 82 in Lehigh Acres out toward Bell Boulevard. And if you're heading toward North Fort Myers High School, there's a crash reported right along Orange Grove Boulevard, causing some delays there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. Look out for a few areas of rain throughout this morning. Eventually, some thunderstorms becoming possible as we head into late morning and throughout the afternoon. A mix of clouds and some sun today, a bit breezy at times as winds continue out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Look for highs topping off near 91 degrees for this afternoon. As we head into your Friday night, things overall winding down as far as that thunderstorm chance goes. However, Saturday morning still could be featuring a few showers waking up in the morning and then more storms developing as we head towards the afternoon thanks to some additional tropical moisture across the area. High clouds will be blanketing the sky for your Saturday, a high of 91 degrees, and we remain a bit breezy at times. Sunday, dry to start out. Temperatures nearing 92 for the afternoon with more scattered thunderstorms later on in the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day that could bring your biggest order yet, or a new cyber threat. Whatever the day holds, with Comcast Business, you'll be prepared. With a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Comcast Business Security Edge to help protect your connected devices, and a dedicated team available 24/7. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a fast and reliable internet and voice solution for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Or ask about our best deal on a gig speed bundle with a $500 prepaid card. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more. Offer requires enrollment in paperless billing and autopay through My Account. Ends 9/19/21. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and one voice line. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change.
Well, is the little pill working yet?
Men, these days could be a thing of the past. Hello, this is Dr. Lou Spangler at Neogenics. Recent advances in non-surgical treatment for erectile dysfunction, combining high-frequency shockwave therapy with the P-Shot, which utilizes platelet-rich plasma, can help restore your virility. These treatments help restore blood flow to the penis and rejuvenate penile tissues, resulting in longer, stronger, firmer, more satisfying erections. Both treatments are simple, in-office procedures, and there is no pain and no downtime. You can resume all normal activities immediately after treatment, including sexual activity. Men, you don't have to suffer anymore. If you have erectile dysfunction or simply want to improve your sexual function, call Neogenics at 239-277-9999 for a free consultation. That's Neogenics at 277-9999. Again, 277-9999.
Hello, folks. This is Representative Bob Rommel with this week's interesting Florida fact. There are over 1,200 daily newspapers in America. Over 150 are here in Florida. But instead of reporting the news, many of them are just voices for the left. That's why they get it wrong so often. For instance, the media has been ripping Governor DeSantis for pushing monoclonal antibody treatments to fight COVID. But now even Fauci agrees that these antibody treatments are very successful. So once again, the media got it wrong about COVID and Ron DeSantis. The same media praised Governor Cuomo, even when he killed small businesses, kept kids out of schools, and sent seniors to nursing home death traps. Remember this when the media attacks Governor DeSantis and other conservatives. Florida, no income tax, no trust for the media. Let's keep it that way. Paid by Bob Rommel, Republican for State Representative.
Presented by LeMace RV of Fort Myers. Now through Sunday, RV Show USA is inside the air-conditioned Lee Civic Center. Hundreds of new and used RVs have been gathered and priced to sell. Enjoy discounts on top names like Winnebago, Fleetwood, Integra, and more. Plus, a great selection of discounted used RVs to choose from. Free parking and admission. For more information, see rv.fun.
Right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the Drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
All right, love to hear from you this morning. 239-479-5592. It really is about you and your thoughts. You heard the President of the United States addressing the horrific tragedy and what is unfolding there with 13 U.S. service members dying in Afghanistan. Now the deadliest day of conflict since 2011. The deadliest day of conflict since 2011 yesterday with those explosions going off there, 13 U.S. servicemen dying, and at least a dozen more American service members seriously injured as we continue to talk about that this morning and some of what the president said yesterday, and like to get your point of view on what you heard yesterday and what you're thinking after all of this. And again, my thoughts are this is a pivot point for the nation. This has to be a pivot point for Republicans to say enough is enough. We are not going to sign off on anything that this president does the same way you wouldn't sign off on anything that Trump was doing. Well, guess what? We're not signing infrastructure bills. We're not signing any kind of budget reconciliations. We're not doing anything that Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi has anything to do with, because we've had enough of this, enough of the party, enough of the feckless administration, and we are pushing back now. You know, what about Vice President Harris? Where has she been? Well, make no mistake about it. She's involved in all of this as well. And when you're talking about the president of the United States and you would like to see him gone. You would like to see impeachment. You would like to see Republicans talking unified about impeachment, even if there's nothing that they can do right now to make this case, because 2022, there's a lot that they can do. And they can still put committees together, and they can still get together and talk about this themselves. Well, excuse me. Well, they can't really put together the committees, but they certainly can get together in groups and talk about all of this. But Vice President Harris had a lot to do with this as well. Don't think that she has nothing to do with it and she can step away from it. For example, I'm looking at a political story from April 25th in the White House. Harris said she had key role in Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal decision. Really? The vice president confirmed she was the last person in the room before Biden made the decision to move forward. Yeah. Even CNN's Dana Bash was like, is that right?
President Biden always said that he wants you to be the last person in the room, particularly for big decisions, just as he was for President Obama. He just made a really big decision, Afghanistan.
Yes.
Were you the last person in the room?
Yes.
And you feel comfortable?
I do. And I'm going to add to that.
Yeah, I don't need to hear the rest of it. She was there. She trusts Biden. She was right there. You better, side by side. Oh, you better believe it. April 25th. Okay. Some of what was said yesterday about some of the unbelievable, outrageous things we heard from the president with regard to what they've been doing in Afghanistan. One reporter asking, the ones that they script out. He knows the question's coming, right? It's
Thank you, Mr. President. There are reports that U.S. officials provided the Taliban with names of Americans and Afghan officials to evacuate. Were you aware of that? Did that happen? And then, sir, did you personally reject a recommendation to hold or to recapture Bagram Air Force Base?
Here's what I've done. Let's answer the last question first. On the tactical questions of how to conduct an evacuation or a war, I gather up all the major military personnel that are in Afghanistan, the commanders, as well as the Pentagon. And I ask for their best military judgment. What would be the most efficient way to accomplish the mission? They concluded, the military, that Bagram was not much value added.
They need to go. They need to go. Not much value added? 2 airstrips? A secure base to give us a presence there in the Middle East that now we do not have? If someplace like, let's just say, China were to do something against Taiwan, and we're one of the closest bases there to be able to send assets to the area. And now that's gone. Impenetrable. I've talked to people, special ops people who know exactly what's going on the ground in Afghanistan and know full well about Bagram. And you talk about impenetrable. Why would we give that up? Not an asset. How could you possibly think that that's the case? They need to go. They need to be fired. Resignations. We need to hear. And there's more to it. We'll get to in just a second, but I want to hear what you think. All right, let's go to some of your calls. Ken's in L.A. wanted to comment on some of this. The president said, good morning, Ken. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Drew. Yes, I am a military non-combat vet, but I had veterans that had served in Afghanistan for many tours over there. My thing is, back in 2011, we got rid of bin Laden. My question is, why wasn't they sending the troops, withdrawing the troops then? What was the mission afterwards? Why were we there so long? Biden and Obama, I should say Biden and Obama were in the White House at the time. But they want to spin the narrative on all this. And all I heard yesterday, it made me sick. My wife had to calm me down. It was all the damn lies that this idiot has said in the White House. And it's fried me. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
No, I know, and I talked to a lot of military folks, and I can tell you the same comments were coming from them as well. It's heartbreaking. It hurts. We hurt when we hear what's being said and what happened, and how there is. We keep talking about this mission. What's the mission? Even the discussion that there's a possibility that we would leave Americans behind. That's never been a mission. Nobody's ever said that was a mission ever in the history of this country. Right. That's never been part of a mission. So even the suggestion, the breath that would come out of somebody's mouth that would even suggest that is, you got to go. You've got to go. We've got. Go ahead.
And him also blaming Trump. All I heard is my best friend from over 30-something years since grade school. Well, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, all those liberal networks have been saying, well, you're wrong, telling me I was wrong. I said, you know what? I responded back to him. I said, you know what? I listened to the generals. I listened to the military people that were actually there, and I listened to the facts. I says, I told him, I says, when they had 7 months since he took over that White House, there was intel left and right from everywhere, CIA, you name it. They had the time to do something about Kabul. They knew this was going on. But that idiot does not want to take the responsibility and the accountability as a president of the United States of America. Is he my president? No, he will never be my president. Not should he be resigned. He should be charged for treason, dereliction of duty for the United States of America.
Well, Ken, listen, I appreciate the call, and thank you so much. I can't tell you how many people I talk to and doesn't feel the same way. And look, when it comes to Afghanistan, there's a couple of absolutes. And there's a couple of realities that we just have to talk about. One of them is that every time you hear somebody talking about Trump, Biden pivoting to Trump, making it about Trump, he was the one that had this plan in place. No. If you would take a second and actually look at this plan that he had with the Taliban of Trump in 2020, there were conditions. It was 17 pages of conditions. It wasn't just we're getting out and we're kind of crossing our fingers you're going to help us. Certain things had to be done, and if they weren't done and if lines were crossed, not only was it going to be off, but you were going to see heat like you've never seen before. That was clear from Pompeo to Trump putting together the deal. That was clear. So don't make it sound like this was just Trump 2.0 when the 1.0 would have been the exact same plan. It wasn't, number one. Number two, the one thing that we also have to talk about is the reality on the ground, which is 2,500 non-combat troops were there, along with NATO and others, to keep the Taliban at bay, to keep ISIS in jails. 18 months without a fatality. Things were working. An air base that we should have kept, period, full stop. It's ours. It is an asset to the military. We'll keep it. Thank you very much. To say that a war, which wasn't a war and hasn't been a war for a very long time, was something that was under control, that had a military asset that we wanted to keep the Taliban and ISIS at bay. Now realizing that the opposite, the consequences of walking away, happen in the snap of a finger, just shows you the importance of staying to a certain degree and to where we were at that moment. Because now we've got to suffer with the consequences on the other side of this, because there's been this narrative that's pushed that we have to get out, we have to get out, we have to get out. Well, I mean, that's the part that has to be, we've got to honestly have a discussion about that. Because those are the truths on the ground. All right. And by the way, I would love to hear from a Biden supporter, a Democrat, as somebody who thinks that everything is okay. Like you're going along with the legacy fake news media. You're going along with some of the local, state, and nationals that are putting out the narrative that listen, this is actually a success. Don't do this. We've had this one little hiccup, but I'm telling you, overall, this is Trump's fault. But this was going to be a success. I don't know how you could say that. 13 servicemen are gone, and we're still waiting to see this heated response. What's it going to be? Where are the targets? How could you point at targets that you don't even have any assets on the ground to tell you where those targets are? John's in Naples. Hey, John.
Hey, good morning, Drew. This whole thing going on, and I don't want to downplay it. It's very bad, and I feel very upset about everyone who's died through this. But in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of small potatoes. I am really, really concerned about who is actually pulling the strings on Biden. He's senile. Somebody is the puppet master. Who is the puppet master that is doing all these lunatic things?
Well, let me stop you for a second, John. I appreciate the latter of what you're saying, but the former I can't get behind. This is big potatoes. This isn't small. And the reason why it's big and not small, and forgive me, but it's big, is because this could have been avoided. There were things that could have been put in place and plans that could have been in place that were not put in place. So it is a big deal. And especially when servicemen have perished, it is a huge deal. It is big potatoes. All of this is. Now, having said that, I'm not saying you're diminishing. I'm not saying that you're diminishing the deaths, but what I'm saying is this was avoidable. There were things that could have been done. The suggestion that it was going to happen, there's no way. We were going to have servicemen and women killed. There's just no way around. No, there were ways around it. There were plenty of things we could have done. Perimeters that could have been set up, not asking the Taliban to let individuals in and vet. I mean, the idea, and thanks for the call, by the way, John, I appreciate it. The idea that there is a general who was saying, yeah, you know what, we're trusting the Taliban. Absolutely. You know, this was part of the whole plan. I mean, part of it was trusting them to make sure that with this perimeter and everything, that, you know, they're going to keep an eye on who's coming through, right? Remember this?
So while these gates where people actually come on the airfield, there's no substitute for a young man or woman, a young United States man or woman, standing up there conducting a search of that person before we let them on. Now, the Taliban have conducted searches before they get to that point, and sometimes those searches have been good and sometimes not.
Sometimes they've been good and sometimes not. Yeah, apparently they weren't very good. General McKenzie right there talking about this perimeter that's set up where the Taliban were the ones that were vetting people? Who does that? Who is it that would set up a perimeter and say to the enemy, yeah, could you do us a favor and, we got some buses coming through. Would you let them through? Yeah, we've got some people that have been vetted and we want them to come through. Will you make sure that they get through? Who does that? Who thinks that that's okay? How do we accept that as an answer? Oh, there's nothing else we could do. No, there was plenty we could do. If we didn't have our men and women leaving and assets leaving the theater, then we could have done a lot right there. We could have done that ourselves. Why didn't we? Why were we not the ones doing it? Why are you trusting the Taliban for anything? That to me was shocking, outrageous. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Marianne's in Naples. Hey, Marianne.
Hello, how are you?
I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I'm every emotion under the sun right now, but not happy.
You absolutely betcha. I'll tell you, no one has put it in this perspective, I think. Okay, I haven't heard it spoken. Is this by design? Obama was in office for 8 years, and he wanted to dismantle and what was the term he used? Make America different, change America. Everybody that he had in his cabinet and stuff, they're now in places in Biden's cabinet and administration. Yeah. The same military people are pulling the strings now that pulled. And now we have an issue with the Taliban and our enemy getting some of our most intense weaponry to fight against us a day in the future. Yep. We've got the anniversary of September 11th. Wouldn't it be swell of those guys to be able to mark us again? This SOB in the office of President of the United States couldn't shine Osama bin Laden's boots, as far as I'm concerned, for his leadership. He has none. America, if you are patriotic, be prepared. Be prepared to fight as our ancestors did for our freedoms, for our liberties, for our America as we want it, because they are destroying it as we watch. And those that are still so focused on the freaking latte that they're getting at Starbucks and how woke everybody is, you will be the first that will cry in your lattes when it's all over, when we have nothing, because you won't know the freedoms anymore after that. God bless America. We are in a pickle.
Yeah, well, no, it's okay. And I appreciate the call, Marianne. Thank you so much for the call. And listen, her expression and what she's feeling is felt by a lot of people. You know, the distinction has to be made, everybody. The distinction has to be made. This is this administration. This is Democrats doing. This is the Marxist Socialist Democrats and this White House. And this is not indicative of our country. When they start talking about how they feel about the country and people looking at the country and people looking overseas at us and looking at the country and who we are now. No. You look at this administration, this White House, and the Democrat Party. You could look at them. Don't look at the rest of us, because it's not indicative of the whole country. Dare I say, there are probably some Democrats out there and certainly some independents who are looking and thinking to themselves, this is not what I signed up for. It's not. You're the ones that need to step forward. You're the ones that need to do something. You're the ones that need to speak out again and do the tough thing. Like say, you know what? Maybe a mean tweet wasn't bad after all. I'm kind of sorry I went down that road. And I didn't expect it to be this bad. And I didn't expect this president to be so feckless. And I didn't expect, well, just say it. Stop this. Help to stop this. You have an opportunity. All right, we're going to get to more of your calls coming up. Play some more audio, the back and forth with Peter Doocy. Talk about theater. It was a setup, and I can explain all of that coming up. Want to hear from you this morning. It's really all about your thoughts about the president and what he said yesterday. And I also want to read something from a friend of mine who was out with some real heroes yesterday, having lunch with some World War II vets and a Korean War vet and a Vietnam War vet as well. And what they decided to do yesterday. We have that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
We all hate it, but we have to have it. Hey, Southwest Florida, it's Tyler McCluskey here, and as an insurance executive for the past 10 years, I now host a show every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. I explain everything you need to know about the health insurance industry and show you all how to save money. For more information, tune in this Saturday at 11 or call now for a free quote at 239-633-3140 or online at tylermccluskey.com.
$6,000. To most of us, that's a lot of money, especially if we got it all at once. What would you do with an extra $6,000? During the 6K Your Way trade-in event, you get to decide. Thursday through Sunday at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Bring in any trade, regardless of year, make, or model, no matter where you originally bought it. Get an extra $6,000 over book value for it. Yes, that's $6,000 more than it's worth. Best part is, it's your money. Use it as a down payment on a newer, nicer vehicle. Lower your monthly payments, or keep the extra cash. It's 6K your way. Why wait? Bring your trade today. Get an extra $6,000 over book value for it today. What'll you do with an extra $6,000? Find out only through Sunday at Florida's #1 Nissan dealer, Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that we have had an increasing number of phone calls from homeowners. Apparently, a number of the insurance companies have changed their underwriting standards regarding tile roofs. We believe that because of the recent hurricanes and the billions of dollars they paid out in claims, the insurance companies are instituting much stricter guidelines. We have had several thousand calls since Hurricane Irma, whereby homeowners were denied what seemed to be legitimate claims. Invariably, these denials were based upon what the insurance company called so-called normal wear and tear, on issues pointing to slipped or cracked tiles, separation in the ridge caps, or deterioration at the base of the air vents or bathroom stacks that were not previously corrected, and invariably because these issues were not visible from the ground. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, please call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to help you and your tile roof. Call Papa at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Summer is here, and Conditioned Air wants to introduce you to our new Easy Comfort solution, the coolest way to get your new AC. Now you can get a new AC unit for one low monthly payment and no down payment. Best of all, annual tune-ups, a smart thermostat, air filters, and repairs due to normal wear and tear are all included. Call Conditioned Air today to comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Southwest Florida homeowners. Home values are up and interest rates are down, which means now is a great time for a mortgage checkup. This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse. Many of you listening might have purchased or refinanced your home within the past year, so your mortgage could be the last thing on your mind. However, the real estate market has changed quite a bit in 2021, which means your home has likely increased in value. More equity in your home means there has never been a better time to get cash out for home improvements. You could also qualify for a lower mortgage rate with our no closing cost refinance loan, and for some, more equity in your home means you can eliminate mortgage insurance. Mortgage Warehouse is Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader. No points, no hidden fees, no closing cost, period. Give us a quick call today at 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
We're so glad you set your radio right here. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News.
The
Right,
mission continues.
all along.
I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The White House says another 12,500 people have been evacuated out of Afghanistan in the last day, with more flights taking off after twin suicide bombings killed 13 American troops and dozens of Afghans.
An enemy of the Taliban, a branch of ISIS known as ISIS-K, is claiming responsibility, and President Biden's promising,
We will hunt you down and make you pay.
Former President Trump on Fox's Hannity questioning the wisdom of relying on the Taliban to ensure security around the airport where those attacks happened.
We're using them now to protect us. Look what happened with their protection. 100 people, much more, they say, than 100 people were killed.
The former president also said civilians should have been evacuated from Afghanistan before U.S. troops are withdrawn. Jill Nato, Fox News.
The U.S. Capitol Police officer who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt as she tried to breach the barricaded House of Representatives during the riot January 6th has identified himself as Lieutenant Michael Byrd. He tells NBC that before he fired his weapon,
I was taking a tactical stance. You're ultimately hoping that your commands will be complied with, and unfortunately they were not.
He says he could not see what was in her hands or backpack and acted to protect members of Congress. Ashley Babbitt's widower, Aaron, tells Fox's Tucker Carlson,
"My agitation level's actually going through the roof right now, where he admitted he didn't really care if she was armed or not, or unarmed or not. He didn't care."
Capitol Police had kept Lieutenant Bird's name confidential to protect his safety. The Arkansas Medical Board's investigating a doctor who says he's prescribed the anti-parasite drug ivermectin thousands of times for COVID-19 treatment, including to jail inmates. The Food and Drug Administration has been warning against that since March. The Centers for Disease Control put out a new warning yesterday, saying overdoses can cause serious medical problems, seizures, coma, and death. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through Lehigh, tracking major delays building up eastbound along State Road 82 because of a crash near Bell Boulevard. We also have crashes near two high schools in Lee County, one in North Fort Myers near North Fort Myers High on Orange Grove Boulevard, and another near Bonita Springs High School. Heading out right now in Collier County, we have one crash just south of the East Trail in the 6100 block of 951 Collier Boulevard. Just tracking some slowdowns because of that. If you're heading on or off of Marco Island, may cause a little bit of a delay nearby. 75 running up to speed, though, across the area. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. Look out for a few areas of rain throughout this morning. Eventually, some thunderstorms becoming possible as we head into late morning and throughout the afternoon. A mix of clouds and some sun today, a bit breezy at times as winds continue out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Look for highs topping off near 91 degrees for this afternoon. As we head into your Friday night, things overall winding down as far as that thunderstorm chance goes. However, Saturday morning still could be featuring a few showers waking up in the morning and then more storms developing as we head towards the afternoon thanks to some additional tropical moisture across the area. High clouds will be blanketing the sky for your Saturday, a high of 91 degrees, and we remain a bit breezy at times. Sunday, dry to start out, temperatures nearing 92 for the afternoon with more scattered thunderstorms later on in the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Got friends and family living far away? Tell them to stream the best station yet at rightallalong.net, the online home of 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to manufacture and install your windows. Only New South offers true factory direct windows to you. Only New South has award-winning windows that are made and designed specifically for our Florida weather. Every single New South window is custom manufactured just for your home. These are high-performance, energy-efficient windows, and now you can buy 2 windows and get the third absolutely free. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com or call for your factory direct pricing.
Call now, 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
Right now, millions of Americans have an uneasy feeling about the future. That's why they're quietly stockpiling as much emergency food as they can. What about you? Do you have enough emergency food to get you through a prolonged crisis? If not, take a moment to shop My Patriot Supply. We're America's leader in emergency preparedness and survival. Since 2008, we've served several million American families like yours. In fact, our mission is your survival. So head on over to mypatriotsupply.com and grab a few of our tasty emergency food kits. Our food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage and is shipped quickly and discreetly to your door. One day, you might be eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner while everyone else is standing in a food line. Avoid that. It's too late to act once the other shoe drops. It's time to be self-reliant and prepared, and now you can. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more, because it's hard to stop a train.
The economy's up, unemployment is down, and home sales are on the rise again.
Hey, I'm Tom. I'm Dick.
And I'm Harry.
And we're real estate agents.
Well, it looks like it's that time of year again, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry thinks they can sell real estate.
If you want a qualified and experienced team to sell your home, call the Morris and Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. That's 239-246-7859.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. You can go to the website and watch. You can subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate you doing that right there. Drew Steele, just type it into any of your favorite podcast locations, or DrewSteele.com has the link to subscribe, and you can do that right now. Listen at your convenience. All right, I go through this. I'm sad. I'm mad. I'm frustrated as you are. This White House is not indicative of the whole country. Everything that has happened up to this point, this is a nation's pivot point. This is where we actually look and say, we are in crisis mode right now. Something has to happen. This has to come to an end. This has to stop. This administration and what they've done has to stop. We can't go through this and have the porous border and what's happening with the economy and inflation and all the other things that have been going on even before we had the horrific situation on the ground in Afghanistan with 13 of our servicemen dying due to these explosions outside of Kabul airport, when protections could have been put in place if the military were still there, if assets were still there, if air support was still there, if we were still able to be able to have all of that in place. But instead, we're trusting the Taliban to allow safe passage of Americans. We're handing over lists of American citizens and allied Afghans, providing it to the Taliban. Lists provided by the State Department and the CIA. We got a problem here, everybody. By the way, the same State Department who was front and center right in the middle of the whole Russian collusion hoax against Trump. Don't let that slip by you, everybody. Don't let that fact slip. And things have to be done, and done right now. And people need to be held accountable. And that includes the military and how feckless they've been. When you have the military admitting, when you have people who are admitting right now that Bagram wasn't necessary. On June 23rd, General Mark Milley, the woke one, woke Milley, the one who was so concerned about, his white rage. And I got to understand that more. And can we have more rainbow flags flying around the globe? And what else are we going to do about intersectionality? Meanwhile, you see everything that's happening. Yeah, that Mark Milley saying that Bagram wasn't necessary, tactically or operationally, for what we're going to try to do in Afghanistan. It wasn't tactically or operationally necessary for what they're doing. What are they doing? What's the mission? Again, yesterday, it's a good thing that the President of the United States, and by the way, let me just say this. I want to hear from you, 239-479-5592. You've had a chance to hear the President from yesterday. Want to get your reaction to what he said. And again, this is not indicative of the United States as a whole. What's going on with this administration, what this president is doing, what Democrats have been doing is not indicative. When Nancy Pelosi is out in San Francisco and she's yucking it up with her friends yesterday after all of this went down. Oh, yeah, yesterday that's what she was doing. When Nancy Pelosi is out there and has all the opportunity in the world to make a statement, a very important statement about what transpired, and Nancy Pelosi is...
Thank you very much, Carmen. I accept your kind words on behalf of the House Democrats who had the courage to elect a woman speaker.
Yeah, okay. In San Francisco, she's just yucking it up, and then...
It's great to be here with you.
Yeah.
I just have some special guests with me today. Of course, my daughter, Christine, who has on her purple and white, which she always wears.
Yeah.
And...
well, maybe she needs to wash it. You shouldn't always wear that. And then when there's an opportunity here to speak about what happened in Afghanistan, what transpired, 13 servicemen perishing and others dying, and here's the solemn moment. Here you go. Nancy Pelosi says,
I'm honored they're here to get a taste of San Francisco and how enthusiastic we are about women.
And here's her solemn moment.
101 years ago, after fighting, marching, struggling, starving, being starved, women gained the right to vote.
There you go. It's about women's suffrage, and that's what it's about. And let's go. Hey, forget about everything that's transpired, Nancy Pelosi. Let's just forget about what just happened and the opportunity to stand up as the Speaker of the House and say something, anything. No. We're not going to do that. And forgive me if I blame all you Democrats for doing that. Well, you shouldn't do that. It's not fair because there's really good Democrats out there. Really? Well, where are you right now? Hey, are you pushing back against this administration? Are you pushing back against the White House, Nancy Pelosi and others? Or are you just going to kind of wait this out so that you can start blaming Trump and all the Republicans and conservatives for everything that's going wrong? Hey, why don't we do this? Let's blame Ron DeSantis. Can we get Ron DeSantis in this discussion? Let's do that. It's Ron DeSantis' fault that 13 servicemen died in Afghanistan because somehow, some way, we got to pin it on him because why not? Yeah, I know. That was really hyperbolic. How dare you go there? Really? We've got a governor in the state of Florida who's trying to help to save lives by making available, even here yesterday in Immokalee, monoclonal antibodies, Regeneron, that is saving lives that we are told is 85% effective in keeping people out of hospitals. But we can't have the hospitals do that or anybody else doing that before time to do some kind of therapy or stop people from ending up in the hospital that's getting overwhelmed and we don't know what to do. And it's really outrage here about what's happening. And it's all about COVID and it's all about the unvaccinated and it's your fault for doing it. But we can't do anything about a therapy beforehand. So we have to have a governor come along and take care of this and make it available to people who are going in droves so that they don't end up in the hospital because it's 85% effective according to Dr. Fauci. But somehow the doctors in hospitals and everything haven't talked about this at all, even though it's been around for a really long time. It was Donald Trump who took it. So it's been around for at least a year, but yet nobody has said anything about it. So let's just throw this in Ron DeSantis' court. Can we do that? Yeah, there's got to be a way to spin it. Joe Biden spun it that way when Peter Doocy was asking him a question about maybe having some responsibility in this.
Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. But here's the deal. You know, I wish you'd one day say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban that he would get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1.
Yeah, why don't you do us a favor? Why doesn't somebody in this administration read the 17 pages of what Donald Trump was talking about with the Taliban and getting out of Afghanistan and find the words in those 17 pages that says, we're just going to pull out and not worry about anything else. We're just going to get out exactly the way Joe Biden's doing it now. But if you do take the time to read it, you'd come to find out that there were actually conditions in the 17 pages. It wasn't going to happen this way. It was never intended for it to happen this way. But there's Joe Biden pivoting and making it all about Trump. He should have said DeSantis. It would have been a lot more politically expedient because, of course, that's what's at play here with Democrats. It's politics. Oh, they'll spin their way out of it. They'll figure out a way to make it all about everybody else, about you. All right, and it's about you. Forgive me. Sorry. You could see how I feel right now. All right, let's go to some calls. Mark's in L.A. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Drew, how we doing?
You know, I'm not well. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm sad about these service members servicemen who passed away due to this and how this could have been avoided. And we're told that it couldn't have been. And it's an outrage. And go ahead. Forgive me.
No, I'm the same way, but I'm not surprised. Not at all. And I guess I'm the only one that's not surprised that this is all being done by design. They don't care if Americans die. They don't care, they don't care a whit about American service people. So it's
you can't. Well, wait, hold on a second, Mark.
Other evil people.
You can't say that, Mark, because I know that this president and other people were talking about how many white supremacists were in the military not too long ago, and being woke and everything else. So and how they feel about first responders and police and defunding and how evil they are. But let that just push that aside because they truly do care. They really do. Those are just words. In their heart of hearts, they really do care.
Mom always said, you can listen to people's words, but you got to judge them by their behavior and their actions.
That's
this couldn't have been done.
Yeah.
This couldn't have been done any better. You couldn't have humiliated America anymore, or degraded the service anymore in the eyes of the quote marks in the air commander-in-chief if you wanted to. It's obvious this is all done by design.
Well, thanks for the call, Mark. I appreciate it. Rich is in South Carolina. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Drew. I feel the same as you do, and I'm actually driving through Florida for work. And I agree with Marianne, and thank God for her. Unfortunately, it takes women like that to come on to a program and say what needs to be said. Where are America's men right now? The insurrection didn't happen on January 6th. And I'm speaking as a military vet. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. An insurrection happened prior to January 6th. And a lot of people have been hurt, have died. All of this is going to continue. There's only one solution, and she already touched on it, and that is for us to take back our government. And you cannot rely on Republicans. I stopped supporting, except for our great president, who is the legitimate president. He resides in the state of Florida, and the only thing that's going to remedy this is for the American citizens to exercise their constitutional right, not to go hunt rabbits, but to actually take back a rogue government. The insurrection happened prior to January 6th. It was stolen from us. Our government now is pushing us around. They're the bullies right now, and we're the punks. And that needs to change. And until America's men grow a spine, I'm tired of talking to men. They wave around the flag. They have shirts that say a lot of things. When I started saying, well, what are you going to do about it? And their spine turns to jello.
Well, I understand what you're trying to say there, Rich, and I appreciate the call. And talking about the insurrection of the Russia collusion hoax and the twice impeached, the phone call that wasn't, and all of that, and how that was all taking place. That was real. And I understand what he's saying, that people need to, and Republicans need to stand. Look, and again, he doesn't support the party. Republicans are going to have to show that they deserve your support because they're willing to do the tough work. Nancy's in Naples. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Drew. I can't tell you how mad, how upset I was when he opened his mouth and went to Trump. Trump wouldn't have let them come across one step. He would have, I know this sounds awful, he would have had our military kill every damn one of them. And he could handle what's happening right now. That man that's in the people's house is not capable of handling anything. And the first lady, the only thing she wants to let her husband get out there and make an idiot and make us all look like a bunch of jerks. She's all right. She's the first lady. Now get the hell out. We need Trump in there and his administration because all of them are a bunch of idiots. All they do is talk. And when it comes out of his mouth, I almost threw a bottle at my husband's TV last night.
Oh, don't throw bottles at your husband's TV. What happened to your TV?
No, I'm not throwing it up.
Okay, good.
But listen,
yeah,
we all need to get out. I don't mean riot because we don't riot. The American people are kind people, but we need to protest in a good way. Get in the sidewalks, make it go all the way across the world. I don't care if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. You have to know if you have any common sense. You don't even have to be smart to know that our country is being destroyed by them. And isn't it kind of funny? China's been involved over there, and Russia's still involved over there. And guess what? Hunter's involved with China, probably Russia too. All Biden cares about, by God, is money for his son, and his hands are in it too. He has blood on his hands of American soldiers. My brothers, all four, were in the Vietnam War. I had two brother-in-laws. They were in it. One 20 years, one 30 years as a Navy SEAL. And I'm damn proud of every soldier. And America, if we don't get out there and remove this bunch of idiots, and that's what they are, they don't care about anyone but themselves. We have got to get our country back. I never my grandkids and my great-grandkids are never going to know what America was really like. And we have to speak up. We get shushed every time you say something out. Nobody better shush me anymore. Yeah. Not one time. Not one time.
Yeah, well,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
They're all a bunch of idiots, and they are not for our country.
Well, Nancy, I appreciate everything you're saying, especially for those that have served and are Vietnam heroes, and thank you for that call. And you better believe it. You know, when I told you I talked to a couple of people yesterday, their expression to me was that when you have a pivot point like we have right now, why are there people not taking off from work and going out and not rioting in the streets, but protesting, but striking, but showing that we've had enough of this. We've had enough of a feckless administration, dangerous, the things that are going on in D.C., not just the signing of different bills and trillions of dollars that we don't have, and the idea that there are some Republicans that are just like, yeah, we're going to just, no, we're not going to give this White House, this president anything. The same way that they wouldn't give it to Trump, that we shouldn't be giving it to them. And this idea that peacefully we should be showing people that we're in danger here and this has to stop. This administration needs to go. People need to resign. In the military, we need to see that change is happening. And if it's not going to happen that way, then it's certainly going to have to happen in 22. And everything's going to have to flip. And, you know, sometimes you just don't want to wait that long. And that was expressed to me. And so I understand people's passion and, you know, what they're trying to figure out. And, you know, she brought up Vietnam, and my good friend Rick Wabi from Collier Lee Honor Flight was out with some real heroes yesterday, 4 in particular. 2 World War II vets, a Korean War vet and a Vietnam War hero, all out yesterday. They went to Mission Barbecue, and the reason why they went out was because they needed to get out of the house. Even though everything is happening the way it's happening with the vid and the concerns about their health, they're sitting back and saying, we've got to get out. They can't be in their homes anymore and try to be on some kind of semi-normal social basis, that they just have to get out. And went there because hearing and being so disappointed about the news and hearing what is happening, they all went to get together to be able to take a minute to stand up and salute the flag. And that people were there in the restaurant to honor them back. Real heroes, true heroes, were there to say, and Lee County Sheriff's officers who made their way over to sit with them and thank them for their service. And these are real heroes. What they've been through, the things that you can't describe, that you can't understand unless you've been there and have done it. And the stories that you hear of heroes, and now you have these heroes who are sitting, World War II and Korean War vets and Vietnam War vets, getting together and sitting together to think about those heroes that we lost yesterday and what they had to go through and what they did go through, knowing full well what they themselves had to go through. And the stories that they tell will change you. And they should. And so while I see the phone lines are ringing, I'm going to get to calls, and we're going to take it right up to the top of the hour coming. I mean, we got to take a break now, but I'm just telling you that listening to the president yesterday, understanding how feckless he is, and the what the military has done and not done, what Democrats are doing to this country, make no mistake about it. The one thing that I look at, and many people that I talked to yesterday, are those heroes, those service members who died yesterday, and those that have served in Afghanistan and other theaters before them, to recognize those lives lost, to recognize those heroes, and to understand what they did and continue to do for this country, and to not forget that. And that's not something off a teleprompter. That's not something off a script. That's not something I had to be waiting 25 minutes to stand up to a podium to say because I had to be coached into talking about it. And many of you are the same way. Not like he is. I'm saying believe in what I'm talking about. You don't have to be coached to have these feelings. Thank you very much. All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is State Representative Spencer Roach, and that single sentence has done more to preserve liberty than any part of the Constitution, but it's also under constant attack. Last session, your Republican legislature killed more than 20 bills directly attacking the Second Amendment. Bills were filed to repeal Florida's Stand Your Ground law, to ban assault weapons, to require background checks to purchase ammunition, to regulate how you can store weapons in your own home, and to allow local governments to make their own gun control laws. Every single one of those bills was stopped in its tracks. This is Spencer Roach, and the Second Amendment is the only permission slip I need to carry a gun, and you have my commitment that I will resist any action that attempts to violate it, because I understand what shall not be infringed means. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
With the help of Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond, I get everyone's morning started with a smile. It has a delicious and hearty combination of the Cheerios you love, whole grain oats, and sliced almonds for an extra crunchy crunch. That's how I set the rhythm for a great day. Look for Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond in your local grocery store.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here for Britt's Carpet Outlet. My friends there are fantastic and they will treat you well. Look, my wife and I, we've got kids, young kids, and animals, and sometimes the young kids are like animals, if you know what I mean. That said, I want to tell you about vinyl plank flooring that we have. It is absolutely versatile. It is totally kid-proof and pet-proof, so spills, accidents, and more, they won't be absorbed into the floor. It's waterproof, making cleanup as simple as a paper towel. Second, Brits offers luxury vinyl plank in literally hundreds of colors and styles to match any kind of decor. So light or dark oak, cool modern grays, even simulated barnwood, they got it all. Bring a scrap of fabric or a slipcover and you will find the perfect match there at Brits. Brits always features great low prices. Compare and see for yourself. Now through September 11th, Brits offers 20% off of regular priced carpet and flooring to all active and retired military. Shop Brits Carpets in Fort Myers and Cape Coral. Make sure you tell them that Trey Radel sent you.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. We're on the phone with our good friend TJ Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And listen, TJ, we know that when you're calling, something big is going on, something special is happening at Floor Meisters. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with the almost 1 million square feet of CoreTech inventory on hand. Talk about that.
Yes, I have the biggest selection in Southwest Florida, and I also probably have the biggest stock of CoreTech
got almost 1 million square feet. I'm ordering it every day to keep up with demand and to make sure it's here, ready to go when you need it. I've got trucks rolling in every day. I'm buying for 3 to 4 to 5 months out to make sure you've got it. If you got a contractor who needs some floor and they can't get it, come see me. We probably have it here.
So when it comes to CoreTech, listen, you know where to go. The selection's unbelievable at Floormeisters. And if you're a homeowner, contractor, installer, and you can't find what you're looking for, now's the time to visit their store at 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco or online at floormeisters.com.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, "What is that beautiful SUV?" I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, "How much does it cost?" I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and a fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines in rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. We have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com. I love my GV80 and you'll love it too.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months at $0 per month for 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News Traffic.
Good morning. Dealing with a crash right now on State Road 82 at Ray Avenue South. It's right at the border of Lehigh and Gateway near the new Gateway High School, causing some slight slowdowns, but no roadblock, no injuries there. Heading out through 75, everything running up to speed. Collier County, we have one crash we're watching at Davis Boulevard and Radio Road, and another crash along Collier Boulevard just south of the East Trail. Looks like that should be off to the side. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority. Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. Look out for a few areas of rain throughout this morning. Eventually, some thunderstorms becoming possible as we head into late morning and throughout the afternoon. A mix of clouds and some sun today, a bit breezy at times as winds continue out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Look for highs topping off near 91 degrees for this afternoon. As we head into your Friday night, things overall winding down as far as that thunderstorm chance goes. However, Saturday morning still could be featuring a few showers waking up in the morning and then more storms developing as we head towards the afternoon thanks to some additional tropical moisture across the area. High clouds will be blanketing the sky for your Saturday, a high of 91 degrees, and we remain a bit breezy at times. Sunday, dry to start out, temperatures nearing 92 for the afternoon with more scattered thunderstorms later on in the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. You've heard me say we're the working and retired person's country club. This means coming in for a meal, a drink, or with a party, and we will obtain your complete satisfaction with our food, service, and value. We strive for excellence with your service experience and our food. So on the rare occasion we fall short, tell us and we'll fix it. Plus, at Stevie Tomatoes, there are no pretenses, no attitudes, high prices, or rushing you in or out. Come relax, enjoy yourself, and be yourself. At Stevie's, we love meeting the men and women who currently and in the past work hard to make America great. We appreciate their values, honesty, industriousness, and affection for this great country. So head to Stevie's, where we strive for excellence in everything we do. I guarantee it. In Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Really? Selling your home? Whether you need to move because of work, moving up, or downsizing, there's a ton of stuff to worry about when selling your home. Asking too much or too little. What about home inspections, paperwork, negotiating? There's only one thing to do. Call the listing realtors that know it all. The Morrison Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. They handled it all. That's 239-246-7859.
Zero. Nothing. Filch. Rockstar Harley has secured zero down and 0% APR financing on all new Harley Davidsons this week. That's zero down and 0% APR. And financing terms that can save you thousands on interest. Hundreds of new and used Harleys in stock at Rockstar Harley with finance experts on site to get you approved. Zero down and 0% APR on all new Harleys this week. Pretty simple, don't you think? Buy a Harley and pay zero interest and zero down. Rockstar Harley Davidson is the #1 volume Harley dealer group in Florida. It's the best time to buy at Rockstar Harley. Approved by Debit Credit and Sunday.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, we're going to go to your calls this morning, 239-479-5592. We have so many people that want to talk today, and as we head into the weekend, and I understand where you're coming from. I mean, the people are sad, they're moved, they're frustrated, well, I mean, I'll let you tell me how you're feeling. You heard the president speak yesterday on the heels of what happened, 13 U.S. service members dying following these shocking pair of terror attacks. What could have been done? Perimeters that could have been in place that were manned by our military and not the Taliban, and how we would possibly be working with an enemy and believing that somehow that they've turned a corner, or that they're not who they used to be. And this ISIS attack, it wasn't the Taliban. Well, they didn't do that. Well, how do you know how much they've had to do with it? I mean, these are the same people that opened jails. These are the same people that we've been fighting. All these are the same people that say death to America. But no. It's different. We both have the same mission. We both have the same goal. Really? So the same goal, yeah. Us getting out and you taking over. And no plan in place. And I know a lot of you want to talk, so that's why I wanted to go right to your calls right now. All right, let's see. Let's go to Gino. Gino's in L.A. Hey, Gino.
Hey, good morning. I just want to start out by saying, what is stronger and harder than plastic or wood? It's steel. Drew Steel.
Oh, look at you. That is kind. What's on your mind, Gino?
Listen, I was at Byron Donald's town hall last night, and he said that Joe Biden should be removed from office. I hope some more of our feckless congressmen and senators will stand up and say the same thing. The sad part is, if he would be pulled, I don't know who would pull him away, but then we get stuck with Kamala. So there's no real solution. It's so sad.
Well, I'll tell you,
I'm just disgusted.
There's probably a lot there with her as well to get. You'd think you'd like to get them both out. I know that pivot over to Harris would not be much better, but there's certainly. And thanks for the call. I think after the process, there certainly would be unity about making sure that a Harris presidency would stop in its tracks as far as what she would want to move forward. That I'm sure Republicans, we would hope that they would be united to say, listen, if Joe Biden's out of office and we know what disaster he's been, and she's a person that even the party didn't want to have anything to do with, that might be a wake-up call for some of the squishies out there, some of the rhinos out there, some of the never-Trumpers out there to actually step up and go, yeah, you know what, maybe we don't back this administration at all until we get to 2024. The Democrat game plan, the thing that they've always done well. Tom's in Naples. Hey, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Drew. How you doing?
You know, I'm pretty ticked off this morning, and I'm sad. I'm a little of everything.
I hear you. I'm with you. I think they should go after him for treason. If you look up the definition of treason, it's adhering and giving aid to our enemies. And I can't think of anything more treasonous than leaving Apache and Black Hawk helicopters, tanks, and equipment to our enemies. That's the first thing. And on that note, I have another question for you, not to stray away from the concept of what you got going on there, but I was just wondering if at any point you would be able to do something on the show in regards to the pros and cons of the vaccine, because it is so hard to find information out there, and there's a lot of people on the wall about it.
Yeah. No, I could. Yeah, definitely. I will. I will do something with that. But I will tell you this, Tom, that, you ask many questions that people have been talking about. Not one single resignation, not one person looking and saying we've made a mistake. It is taking blame. The president won't take blame. He puts it on Trump. The military won't take blame. Nobody is saying anything right now. That is feckless leadership. That's not even leadership. Leadership is to understand that you made the mistake and to step up and say, this was wrong. This was a wrong decision, and I'm going to take the fall for it. Nobody will do it. And then the question becomes, how much of it is politics? It's all politics. Democrats will spin this and spin out of it and try to spin out of it with the help of the media to make it look like it's everybody else's fault. They're already doing it.
Yeah, well, when did you ever see a Democrat take blame for anything?
Well, yeah. Good point. Good point. All right. Thanks for the call, Tom. I appreciate it. Mary Ann's in Naples as well. Hey.
Hi, Drew. Hi. I was infuriated yesterday during the speech when he was addressing the parents of the servicemen who were killed yesterday. And then he turned it around to a wham, wham, me, me moment when, well, I lost my son, too, and I understand how you feel. No, he had a chance to say goodbye to his son. And I don't mean to minimize the pain that anybody feels over the loss of a child. But these servicemen were killed unnecessarily, and he does not understand how their parents are feeling right now.
Yeah, that was one of those scripted moments. That was one of those moments that people were worried about, and the scripted moment that we saw the theater yesterday, and I brought it up earlier in the show, and you're right on the money there, Marianne, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Where it was perfect theater. He comes out. He's not looking at a teleprompter. He's looking around the room. He's scanning his eyes around the room to talk about servicemen and women, those who died, moment of silence, Bible verses, talk about his son, all the things that he's probably done in 50 years. He's probably done this before, so it's easy to just do it off the top of his head. Doesn't need a script for that. Doesn't mean it's sincere. It just means it's off the top of his head. Then pivots to reading off the teleprompter. Then admits that he's going to a script of people that he gets to pick and choose who's going to ask the questions. He does that right out of the gate. So please don't tell us he doesn't do that. It's one.
He gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC.
Yeah, don't tell us that you don't do that, because you do. And then after all of that is said and done, to do the one thing that was scripted as well. Perfect theater, perfect script. Set up the sympathy, set up the emotion, set up the Bible verses and the moments of silence, and a very calm pool of reporters, simple questions to ask, a very calm room, and then the evil, horrible, Fox News, Peter Doocy, Trump-supporting, gun rack on the back of your pickup truck, white supremacist, Confederate flag flying, GOP concern with DeSantis loving, COVID denying. Peter Doocy comes along, and what a perfect moment for him to just be so frustrated, because how dare you ask me questions like this in the middle of such a solemn moment?
Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. But here's the deal. I wish you'd one day say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban.
Yeah, well, let's just stop right there. So there you go. Pivoting right to the former president and a deal with the Taliban, which if anybody would actually take a minute to actually see what that deal was with the Taliban, they'd understand that there were conditions there. And in no way, shape, or form was Trump or Pompeo or anybody going to allow the conditions that happened under Biden to happen under Trump. Wasn't going to happen. There were conditions. It never would have gotten that far. And there would have been better decisions by the military. And if the decisions look like they would have been obviously the wrong decisions to make when it comes to the taking away of our assets and the taking away and handing over of military, Trump would never have done that. And they know it. And nobody's going to take the time to read it and talk about that aspect of it because, politics. Because politics. Allison is in Fort Myers. Hey, Allison.
Hey, Drew. I work at a hotel, and I had a young man come in this morning. He was on a red-eye flight from California, and he's actually active military, active Army, had been in for 8 years, and he says, if they said it, I would be gone today. I would be happy to go back over there today to take care of business.
Yeah,
and that says it all.
Yep, and there are a lot of people who feel the same way. I've talked to people, former special ops guys that are just like, listen, if I could, people in the military that's like, if I could, people that would say, listen, I would be there in a heartbeat. I will do whatever I have to do because to the point that they're ready to stand up and fight and protect this country. And again, thanks for the call there, Allison. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this White House and what they're doing is not indicative of the rest of the country. Don't make it seem like, even leadership outside of the country looks at this country and says, no, it's not the people. It's not what the country believes. It's what this White House is doing and this president and this administration and what they're doing. They're the ones. Ray's in Estero. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Drew. Thanks for the show. I appreciate you being there today. I just wanted to call to say thank you. I was 17 years old 40 years ago when the Ayatollah came and they took our hostages, and we were in the embassy in Rome. My father was a career Army, and they came for us in that embassy. They blew up the annex. They laid a bomb there. Brigate Rose was taking over the country little by little. And I remember being 17 years old and looking out the window of the embassy from the basement and seeing those black boots, the old shiny boots of those Marine Corps, protecting us, and realizing at 17 that those men were putting their lives on the line for me and my family. And we were okay that day. But, I would just call to say thank you for what those guys did yesterday and what those guys do all the time. And, they didn't just start this caring about the world and taking care of people, a week ago, a month ago. That is America. They are America. And I just want to say thank you to them.
Well, I don't know that I could have expressed it any better. And I feel exactly what you're feeling, Ray. And I can't thank you for that call enough. And we do feel the way you do. And it's what I said before. And that's this country. Ray is this country. Do not think for 1 minute, if you are active duty, if you've served this country, do not think for 1 minute that this country is looking at you any different than as heroes, as people we love and respect. This White House is not indicative of the way this country feels. It's just not. It's just not. All right, I'll take one more call. Krista's in Naples. Hey, Krista.
Hi, Drew. How are you? Good morning. It's such a pleasure to speak with you.
Oh, well, thank you. I wish it was under better circumstances. It's a tough morning.
Well, me too. And I've never really called before, but I really wanted to get in because yesterday, listening to Glenn Beck, I heard horrific stories of not only children, babies floating in the water and fathers taking out their daughters and killing them because they don't want them to end up in the hands of the Taliban. And Joe Biden is being instructed by whom on these speeches? Is it Obama? Is it Hillary? We're frustrated. He needs to be taken out. Kamala, Obama, Hillary, they all need to be held for some kind of treason at this point in time. We have never seen this country such a disgrace. There's such a dark evil over this country right now. My heart breaks for all of our service men and women, the veterans, everybody who's putting their hearts on the line. And I know very well that there are so many patriots across this nation that will stand up and rise and join together and fight with our military. That's what America is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, Krista. Listen, thank you for the call, and thank you for listening and being part of the program today. And listen, this is a pivot point. What's happened yesterday and what's going on with this president and this administration and everything that has transpired is a pivot point. If we choose to make it that way, and where some would say, how do you fight back? Again, I can't express it enough. It's local, 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 and it's what we do here locally. A good friend, Ariel Martinez, who helped us out a few weeks ago with some things that we were doing outside with regard to critical race theory and those that took the time to rally and those concerns. He's got an event that's happening tomorrow, Conservative Christians of Southwest Florida. The lead chapter of the Conservative Christian Southwest Florida is going to be getting together at First Christian Cape Coral. That's on Country Club Boulevard in Cape Coral. It's starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And, it's the first and one of the ways that you can start to get together with like-minded folks, with understanding the exceptional nation that we are under our Judeo-Christian values and being a beacon and doing this locally and getting together with folks who understand. Just one of the things that you can do, certainly. Conservative Christian Southwest Florida. So if you want to go tomorrow, 10 a.m., it's at First Christian Cape Coral at Country Club Boulevard in Cape Coral. I would encourage you to go there. It's the kickoff meeting for the lead chapter of Conservative Christian Southwest Florida. I believe there's a phone number too, 239-682-4489. Again, 239-682-4489 if you want to give them a call and be there. And it's going to start. It's going to start here. It's going to start in the community. And again, I cannot say this enough as we finish out the program, Jake, today this way. This administration and what they are doing is not indicative of who we are as a country, how much we love and support our military, our first responders, police. We do. And who are the ones that protect us in our freedoms and our liberties, and who are the real heroes, and how anybody could push back against that and have any other thoughts is just, it's not American, it's not you, it's not me. And that's an important thing. And I can't thank you enough for all the calls today. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with the remainder of the forecast.